Yo, today guys, it's Immersive Gamer 83 and thank you very much.
What's up, guys? Still here with Pretty VR. Cooking and good looking. And welcome back. Hello. Hello, and welcome back to another reality check VR. It's all you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Don, and welcome to episode 17 of VRSpies Exposed. And tonight we're hanging out with my good friend Wayne, Immersive Gamer 83,
Oh guys,
and my other good friend, Reality Check VR, Caleb.
What's going on, guys? How's everybody going today? I mean, everybody's got their Vive and Oculuses, and I don't have one, and I'm just keep watching everybody have all this fun, and I'm just. It's been a week. It's been another week. So.
Yeah, we're getting
all in
there.
all, man, I'm super hyped, man. Super hyped to get on it. I've been at work all week. This is my first day off in a long time, and like, oh man, Mrs. in bed, she's off. This is my time, so let's do this.
You're gonna get some playtime finally. Awesome,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely, I know that's something that's been on your mind all week, and Caleb, I know yours is still pending, but I mean,
Things are happening. Things are happening every day.
we'll get there. We'll get there. So a lot of stuff to cover this week. We've got we had Google I/O go down and some nice Android-based VR news came out of that. We also had the Google is now working with IMAX and Yi Technologies, and they're going to be building jump-ready VR camera rigs. So, what else we got? Me and Caleb went up to the KCVR meetup this week, and actually finally got to try the Vive. So now I've seen both headsets. So,
That's right.
Yeah,
I played some
nice
Space
one.
Pirate in the Vive myself with the real thing, and little quick add-on to what's going to happen in the conversation later is, yeah, you know what? My Ghetto Vive with the DK2 and Hydras, it is not bad for mimicking the real experience. Not bad at all, to the point to where it's the screen door is almost the only thing that's different up until you actually move your hands over 180. So we'll go into that later. But it's amazing. The Vive is a great tool, but I'm not. I don't know. I'm not disappointed with what I've been using. That's for sure. It makes me happy with what I've had. So
Definitely. I think another thing, which is a huge thing going on at the moment, is the walled garden of Oculus and how they're kind of shutting down side projects, man. Like Revive is closed.
Yeah, we've definitely got that on the agenda to talk about tonight. That was huge news that came out, and just kind of touch over a few of the articles. I think the three of us wrote articles this week on the site. So I know Caleb, you kind of touched on don't touch anything, all puns intended.
Yeah.
And I kind of covered a way that you can play some of the older 05, 06, I'm sorry, 06, 07, 08 runtime material using your new Oculus Rift through the Calaveras' runtime wrapper. And I know Wayne, you took a look at Kismet, and
Oh yeah, definitely. That was awesome. And I've got something hot off the press as well. I've just found it right now. Path to Thalamus, new edition, the one that's come out now. Just had a quick look on the store page. It's in my library already from the Oculus days, but it's now showing it's got full motion tracked controllers. I've not tried it yet, but I'm downloading it again. So yeah, definitely. If we get VR hands in that, that's going to be epic. So yeah, sorry to interrupt. Carry on, please.
No. I was just, like I said, I'm just kind of skimming the list of topics that we were talking about earlier on Skype, and I know one that, and Greg's not here. Hopefully he'll show up later. I haven't heard from him today, but I know one thing that he put out there that really got me jazzed, and also just excited to be home from work to finally get to try it, is there is a way to increase the render resolution in the Oculus Rift.
That was Gamer Muscle's video,
Yeah,
right?
Gamer Muscle's video.
Yeah, good scoop, man. Good scoop.
Yeah, so that's some good stuff, and the new Oculus Runtime 1.4 is starting to roll out to users this week. So improvements in that. A lot of people are saying that they've seen improved black levels in the Rift. So, but unfortunately, with that, like Wayne touched on, it kind of brings us to one of the big gorillas in the room, and that's the fact that it broke Revive, and the fact that they actually used hardware DRM to break Revive.
Yeah. So are we thinking that this is like a planned move to do that, or a byproduct of a good idea?
Yeah. Personally, I don't know because you had Palmer back there it was a few months back making a Reddit post that stated basically that they had no intention to, once you bought the game, if you wanted to mod it, you go ahead.
Yeah. And but the thing is, there's a lot of things that Palmer said for one reason or another, which haven't turned out exactly as we'd all hoped, And I think Palmer's a good guy. I think his heart's in the right place, but now I don't think he's pulling the strings. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely, absolutely. That's definitely been talked about this week as well.
I've got something not completely, VR related going on as well. Check out this fucking shirt, man. This looks like some pajamas. Check this out, mate. Been to a party tonight. Hashtag VR gay.
VR gay. Yeah, I missed out on all that last week.
Wayne, what kind of a party was it? Was it a party in your house? Or, was it somewhere else nearby? What was going on?
I had to go down to an 80th party for my missus's granddad. So, it was in the pub. There's a few people closed off a room, like a function room. Do you have them over in the US, function rooms?
No, we don't do that kind of stuff. We keep our wives to ourselves in the U.S. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
Keys in the pot, mate. Yeah.
I'm not really sure what the function room functions as, but sounds like an interesting thing. I wish I could go to the UK, and I will. As I told you before, we're gonna come visit you guys and have a little Spies meetup at some point. It's gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
So
if we can do that, do it over a date where there's a big event going on, a nice big convention, and let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I want to see what's going on over there. And plus, of course, all the other guys can come over at the same time, so it's going to be a good time. I'd say we heard a lot about the whole Palmer being quiet situation, just going back to that real quick. And I do notice that he's just completely out of the media for the most part. He's not saying anything, and that's to kind of cover his butt, I'm sure, as well as the company. They're in hot water right now. I even sent them a message when they tried to take the money from, the account just recently, and when they did that, it was like, hey, guys, I had the money 2 weeks ago. I had it 2 months ago. I had it 3 months ago. I was holding on to this for a long time, and it's just like, recently when people, it's a hard time holding on to $600 sitting there for a device that you just have no idea when it's going to come out. And I think that's just the biggest, ruining factor. And I remember there was a Reddit post way back when about how stress is a big factor in people's lives. Not that it stressed me out too much, but just not knowing when that money's going to come or go is very stressful. Especially when you're trying to plan, different things in your life and moving and all those different, anybody can.
The real world gets in the way, man. You know what I mean? There's real things going on. The car breaks down. Some shit's going on. Always something to pay out for, man. Always.
I did. This is the one thing that did surprise me, and the thing is, we're hearing a lot of uproar. People are pissed that they're in the stores, right? People are pissed, right? Okay. Well, the thing is, I'm sitting there and I emailed Oculus just very briefly to ask, hey, so what's going to happen? Are you guys going to keep trying to charge? You guys going to quit? And they're like, well, you don't lose your place if you can keep charging it and it'll get it eventually. I'm not sure how long. I'm not sure how long that window is. They did not tell me. But what they did say is this could really work in your benefit, as the fact that because I was like, it upsets me that people can get them in stores, and they sent me a message back and said it could really work in your benefit because you could really drive to one of these stores and potentially buy one of these units, within this week or within the next couple weeks, as opposed to waiting for your pre-order. So their response to me being upset was that the units being in the stores is to our benefit, because that means we can go drive to a store, walk in and say, even though I pre-ordered this, months ago, I'm going to try to stand in line and try to beat the next guy to try to buy something. And then, of course, there is that whole tax issue, which does change the price of things when you're buying it either online, of course, or in a store. And that, people don't want to talk about it. Guess what? It is a real factor. So.
Yeah, I know. Here where we live, it'd probably end up costing you an extra about $36 to $38.
It's just little things, and the fact that you not that you need to feel super special, but you pre-ordered it. You feel like they at least acknowledge the fact that you were trying to back them way before the buzz was hitting there, or even if you're somebody that's trying to give the buzz out there to people, it's like, hey, at least respond to my message with some kind of sanity and logic, not just some kind of extremely stupid, this could be a beneficial thing for you for being in a Best Buy nearby, it's like, thanks, guys. Congratulations. So.
Yeah, there was some Reddit post that I read this week where some guy talked to somebody to talk to somebody, well, whatever. But he said that they were getting an average of 3 to 5 per week at some of the larger Best Buys of the 48. So
Right, and just to answer Six Marbles in the chat too, yeah, man, you've been a great help. Six Marbles is a great guy. And by the way, he's asking if do you have to actually, or can you buy a Rift in stores without the pre-order? And
yes,
actually, yes, the pre-orders
yes, you
mean
can.
nothing. So if somebody's standing in line and you say I have a pre-order, they're like, we don't give a shit. They
Yep.
don't care. They don't care at all. They don't do pre-orders. They don't even know what those numbers are there at the store. They don't correlate with their system. The Rifts are in their store and they're there. I read a
Yeah, and
Reddit
it's
post
not.
just recently. Yeah, and the guy
Well,
said,
it's not, and
I walked in, there's two.
it's not just Best Buy. I mean, you've also got them available from Microsoft Store. You've got them available from Amazon. I mean,
Has Vive done this yet? No. So
actually, Vive is now available through Microsoft Store as well,
online or actually in person?
online. Yeah.
Okay, that's the online that makes sense.
Well, actually, they said they were setting up Vive demos in Microsoft stores.
Not to even bring that comment up because I mean they're shipping them out rather quickly as it is.
Yeah, man.
It's just that, as far as Oculus goes, I'm sure that they had contracts and agreements with these stores saying that they're going to have these systems in at a certain point. They didn't foresee these problems they were going to have with these back orders, so of course in their contracts then go ahead. But where is the contract of the pre-orders, I guess with the customer and that, it does really feel shitty. And as much as I don't want to talk anything bad, I don't even really want to bring this subject up. I really don't. I'm not trying to make it. Let's try to end it pretty soon here. I do just want to express my frustration in the sense of somebody who's been pretty quiet even in all these conversations the past few weeks. I really just feel kind of I feel hurt. My feelings are hurt. I'm not mad. I'm just upset. My feelings are hurt, and I don't feel like they've been good, and that sucks because I really do want them to do well, And just to answer one last thing, the whole closed system, all I can think about is like Steve Jobs. Zuckerberg's trying to be a Jobs, and they're like sitting there. They're trying to close system stuff that's obviously needing to be open. Closed systems are gonna die. And the fact of the matter is, there's too many people out there that want to share and want to do things together and want to collaborate and correlate together. And these open systems are the way to go. And PC to me, it just beats Mac, Mac in many ways, simply because I can do so many open things to it, mod wise and accessory wise. And I like both systems. I like them both. I really do. But I get so frustrated with my wife's Apple phone, and my Android phone is just, you can do whatever you want with it. All right, there's my rant. Hashtag rant done. Wayne, your shirt looks awesome. Hashtag VR gay.
Hashtag VR gay. Yeah, no. Well, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I mean, it's easy. Whatever you guys want to talk about. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on, and that is one of the big things that is still, it's still a thorn in everybody's side. And
Yeah, I've cancelled mine.
It needs to be talked about.
Yeah,
I've actually put a cancellation on mine.
I'm sure you would have gotten, because you were like 30 minutes into it, right? So you probably would have been getting your ship notice here soon. They would have wanted to take all your money and been,
Yeah, because UK is shipping faster than US.
Yeah, even though my cancellation means I've cancelled, I can still go and walk into a shop if I want. If they're going to shops first, what's to stop me going and walk in the shop? In all honesty, I'll probably wait for touch to drop before I consider getting it.
Right.
I'll talk about that in a bit.
Just so you know, if you were to walk into a shop and buy one and you wanted to keep your touch pre-order, they now have a button in your order page. So you can actually click that button and you can tell them, hey, I bought this at a store, so I still get to keep my touch pre-order, but I bought it in a store, so don't worry about shipping me one.
Yeah, but that touch pre-order means less to me than ever. You know what I mean? Like,
especially if it comes at the end of the year.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I don't want to be like a bitch. I don't want to be a whiny bitch. But I do feel a bit let down, and I wrote them quite a lengthy sort of cancellation notice, and just saying how upset I was with how I felt I'd been treated. Do you know what I mean? And we were all there on the same day as Don, as UKRifter, as Greg. We were all there with our cards in hand. You know what I mean? And I'm not bitter with any of the guys that got them. I'm just disappointed that I didn't get it. You know what I mean? And as it turns out now, though, I'm really happy. Like, my Vive turned up. Thank God there was no problems with it. It works fine. And having VR hands, man, just for me, the only thing I'm doing at the minute is looking for games that support touch control. So so I've got VR hands. It's like,
no, man, I agree. After trying it, amazing.
Yeah, it's just some of the experiences now, a lot of that I've had, even though there's a lot more to come. things like there was one called, was it Spellfighter or was it Spellfighter VR? It was a free demo out. It's crazy. It's awesome. It was blew my mind, and that wind. What was that one? Wind open world where he's swinging like Spider-Man. What's that one called? Windlands.
Yeah.
Oh, Windlands, yeah.
Yeah,
Surprisingly
Windlands.
works with Ghetto Vibe as well. Very
Yeah,
much.
like
I was like, whoa.
yeah, really, really enjoying that, man, and it just takes things to the next level. And you know, it's terrible to say, but I want to get back into these Vorpex games and you know Vireo and getting back on these titles because they're really, really good. But I haven't got VR hands yet in them. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like
Wasn't that
smashing
part
all the
of,
VR hands that I
wasn't
can
that
get
part of the
before I
new
even go
roadmap?
back. And I will go back though. I will go back, and you know, I'm sure there's going to be like Fallout mods, Skyrim. People are working on Skyrim right now to get it in open API. You know, for Steam VR.
Mm-hmm.
They're using the old Hydra mod. I put a thing on Reddit, and there's some geezers already got it working in open VR. It's exciting stuff.
Yeah. Real quick, you're talking about how you said you were really
Hashtag VR game.
Hashtag VR.
You said you were very thankful that you got
I
your
can't hear you, man. I might have just killed it.
Right, and you didn't have any problems with pixels or screens going bad, no discoloration, and for the most part you don't have a God Ray problem, right? You're enjoying your vibe.
I'm loving it. I'm so happy with it. Like,
those are all great things to hear, because especially with the wish-washy comments that you get from just kind of everybody here, not everybody, almost everybody. It seems like at least that I almost know personally has had some issues, and kind of go into that real quick. Not to bring it up, in a bad way, but hey, Nathan, he's got an Oculus that just came, and lo and behold, hey, there's red sprinkles everywhere. It's like, he can play some games and it looks good, but then red sprinkles, and then he uninstalls Oculus Home, and then it doesn't want to install again. It's like, what the hell's going on, Oculus? Your software is kind of fidgety, and your hardware is not working properly, and I'm not, once again, trying to bring this up as a big comment, but this is just a true thing that happened with somebody who just recently got their Rift, and this isn't somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. We know what we're doing. This stuff is just, it shouldn't be like this, and I don't know.
Sorry to interrupt you, Caleb. Can you ping me a little the chat messages link, please?
Oh, absolutely.
Cheers. Sorry, carry on, mate.
Yeah. No, yeah, I actually helped Nathan get his software working again, and everything that he's describing, it sounds like it's a bad HDMI cable.
Right.
He even looked in the end of the cable, said that it looks like it's missing a pin. He actually talked to me about this today, and he basically got a letter back from Oculus support, and basically they want to send him the SPUD tool.
Right. Well, I can tell you right now, just to say one thing, missing a pin I know can be completely common, especially if the output doesn't need that pin, because they can transfer and they don't. So it's not necessarily a thing, but I do agree with you. The sprinkly seems like a cable issue that he's having. But yeah, the SPUD tool. How's the SPUD tool going to fix the cable, right?
Yeah, they're going to make him go through the hoops, and then hopefully they will replace his cable. I mean, we've seen pictures of a retail packaged cable replacement on Reddit already. So,
right.
It looks good. It looks good. It looks, but was it like a 4-meter cable or something? Was it?
I think the Rift is 3, and the Vive is 4. I know the Vive cable is a little bit longer than the Rift.
Yeah, but there's it's a real big shame, and maybe it turns out that it is a faulty HDMI, and everything's all good with it. But it seems to be like a lot of people having these issues. But if this SPUD tool works out to be a fix, something that can fix it, then hopefully that will come in later patches, right?
Well, yeah, actually, I'm thinking they're starting to gather a lot of that data. I actually was sent the SPUD tool as well. I've got a hair of red tinge on the bottom of my left eye, and it kind of crosses over into the right. So they sent me the SPUD tool. I ran it, and it made a world of difference. The blacks were like inky black. The colors seemed to pop more. But they obviously put it with a disclaimer that they're saying, hey, this is just for testing. Don't keep it turned on. It could damage your displays, whatever. So that makes me think that it's actually some sort of a display problem that is software related. It's going to be able to be fixed.
Right.
Hope so.
The HDMI that you get with the DK2, it also has one pin that's not in the HDMI at the very end of it, as well as
Okay.
the other side. I mean, it's not the same thing on this side, obviously, but that's just the way that cable is made. And like I said, that's kind of a common thing in a lot of video cables, especially when you do conversion. But the thing is, yeah, this one was a bad HDMI cable that was with my DK2. Luckily, they sent me a new one, so my DK2 currently has a new one on there with, of course, an extension leap cable on there. So yeah, I mean, it's something that they have had in the past. Even with the DK2, they had bad cables. The thing is, they sent you new ones and they made it right. And I just kind of stinks that.
Well, the one thing that I liked about the DK2 though was when I had problems with it, you could use a standard HDMI.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So,
you can take any standard HDMI, any FireWire.
And yeah, the cable on the CV1 is nice. I mean, but I would have rather preferred not have the proprietary connector at the HMD. They could have easily made a split cable where it had a USB and the HDMI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, not only that, I mean, this is one thing with all products. This is not an Oculus thing. Just in general with launches. #rant. I wish that they would have accessories available beforehand, cables, controllers, sensors,
Something surprising.
Available, and Vive apparently is starting to now.
Yeah. I saw a link and there was like.
Yeah, but it's coming, right?
Yeah. So you can buy. I think there were pre-orders available now for like Vive controllers, so you can do the camera shit. Get a look at it. Someone who actually, filming you with a camera. Get like a camcorder, strap the Vive to the camcorder, then you get the proper mixed reality shit with multiple angles going on. Also things like replacement boxes and things like that. Whatever you wanted. And one of the things which I think is really, really important that I'm going to need a few of, or at least until VR cover comes out, is the actual foam replacement things. I mean, I played that Space Pirate game the other day, and I was pissing my sweat. Do you know what I mean? Pissing my sweat.
Yeah. I drenched my system in it. Yeah.
So I definitely need some of them, man. But the thing is, like, since I feel like I've this is crazy. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you guys know I fucked my back up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I messed my back up a little while ago. I was out off work for 12 weeks, and I pretty much put on stone and a half straight away. Do you know what I mean? In that time.
Half, yes.
Yeah, I put on a stone and a half. So, you were well.
What's a stone and a half?
Yeah, explain that to the Americans.
So like,
right.
Is that like a big stone, small stone?
And you work in kilos, right?
Pounds.
No, that's my wife's
Okay. All right. Okay. There's 14 pounds in a stone.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wait. You got 14 old pounds, buddy. That's okay. That's water weight. Okay.
Yeah. So 14 pounds in a stone. So pretty much like add 7 on, so 21 pounds.
Ooh.
In 12 weeks. So I fucking, I put on a fair bit of weight.
Like
but
it's cool, man. I do the same.
Even in this short time, even in that short period of time between my Vive showing up and now, I'm happy to show you this, man. #VRGay. But look, man, hang on. Can you see that?
I see it. Oh, I see it.
So they're falling off me, man. So Space Pirates, what it's about,
Yeah, don't tell people like Space Pirate does it for you,
Yeah, I know.
They're gonna ask like Space Pirate can do it for them too.
It's code, man. They're like,
Or my house.
do you want to play some Space Pirate, guys? #VRGay.
You're shooting these robots everywhere. They're just coming at you. It's nonstop.
But yeah, so active gaming, man. I'm feeling like I've got energy. I'm feeling like I'm not even trying, and I'm getting back in shape again. You know what I mean? I'm not even doing anything different, man. And
I was watching UKRifter's video today, and he played some Space Pirate a little while back. Finally posted it, and man, you can hear him at the beginning. He's having fun, but he starts going.
He's gassing, man. He's huge.
Yeah.
He's tired.
Same with me, which is the thing is, I just hide it with the editing. I'd fade out the audio part, but music, it's like so you don't hear me huffing and puff, but it does that to you very instantly. And that was one thing, and I'll post this out there. I think this is a great idea, and the more people that do it should do it. But I got myself one of those little heart rate monitors, right? So I can put it on, and I can Android it to my computer or my phone, and I can live see my heart rate. So then I can in the video show what's going on with my body. Because the one thing I think is the most impressive, and Don and I talked about it briefly, is just like how the body responds to things, whether or not your brain's even tricked necessarily. Because I know I'm in my living room most of the time. I know what I'm doing here, but when I'm in a game, things affect you, and things affect your body more so than anything. And I would really love to show how the body actually is affected by that in real time, not only through the physical activities, but through the psychological horror games and things like that. So,
Yeah.
and that's just kind of a fun thing to do. I'm not sure if anybody else has been doing that with the videos. I'm sure somebody has. So anyways, I think more people doing that would be cool. So
No, I think
soon,
when you talked about that, I thought it was a great idea. Because I've been in those games like Alien Isolation, and I could literally feel my heart pounding in my chest, man. So I'd kind of like to know how many beats per minute that is. So
the horror, like Alien Isolation and that back in the day, I could hear my own heartbeat, man. Like, poof, like it's scary times. Like, I wonder if you actually burn more calories playing horror games.
No, well, if it's consistently scary for you, but that might not be good for the heart overall if it's that kind of scare.
Yeah.
Heart rate's going without any physical activity. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah, no, it certainly would do that. That's why I'm interested to see how it'll work and how the body will react to it, especially in those situations. Because you can't. Can you fake your heart rate? No. Can you?
I don't know.
I don't think you can fake your heart rate, dude. I don't think there's any way to do that.
You can mentally stabilize it though. Can
you? Tell me, Peaceful Warrior, more.
Yeah. Okay. If you sort of like slow your breathing right down, so it's like really long and shallow breaths, your heart rate drops quicker.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So like you just practice, you control your breathing, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. My dad was a coach, and he used to tell us that like when you got really out of breath, to take a deep breath, hold it, and then let it out slow, and then take it and hold it, let it out slow.
You're standing and you're in a forest and you're there and you're with nobody and you're by yourself and you see this raptor dinosaur coming at you very slowly and you're holding your breath and trying to compose your breath. Do you think your heart rate is going to just stay at one spot, or do you think it's going to just mellow out, especially if you just control your breathing as this dinosaur slowly walks up, licking his lips?
I think anxiety was going to raise your heart, to be honest. But
exactly. So the games are still going to make you go crazy, whether you breathe well. No, I hear what you're saying, man.
Yeah.
I think VR is going to be great to show that concept potentially.
I don't want to keep talking about it, but that link you sent me ain't the right one.
Dude, welcome to chat.
Yeah, I can't see the fucking chat.
You can't. Okay, if you go to VRSpies YouTube, it will show live streaming.
No, that's what I'm doing. I'm watching. I have it on two monitors. I've got the Hangout on one, and I've got the VRSpies YouTube page open, and I'm just chatting in there. Actually, Chris just jumped into the chat. So, what's going on, UKRifter?
Chris isn't allowed to be in chat. Who let him in there?
I don't know.
Block him.
Yeah, block him. Get him out of there.
Like,
Christopher.
Admin him out. So.
Yep. It's okay. I'd like to do a live game with UKRifter and I playing Space Pirate back to back.
Ooh.
My screen. We can merge those together into a stream. UKRifter, it's on. We're playing. I'm calling you out, buddy. Do this.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
Right. That's right. I got to play recently for Gunter, and I got to play recently for Wayne, and then I got to do some streams recently while I was playing for CV1 donations. Hey, and that was a fun little time I had there. And unfortunately, I really did think I could potentially get like leaderboard scores again, and I got like maybe 40,000 maximum.
You also played at the you played it for a short period at the.
They let me play for about 5 rounds when I was playing at the meetup we went in Kansas City, and when I was there, I put the whole thing on and. I couldn't get the headphones in because they were doing the earbud things. It's just, public meetup. Hey guys, doing the closed ones.
Yeah, no, I wasn't doing that.
No. So the headphones wouldn't really work, and they couldn't stay in. And I don't know if you guys have played Space Pirate. If you play Space Pirate, the game is not just about visuals. It's just about moving around, and it's sound. It's sound. You hear them when they're about to shoot you. You can see the lights shoot up.
Mm-hmm.
You know which one. I mean, my main strategy for the most part is to not let them shoot lasers at me, which means keeping them all distracted and hit with fire at all times. So if they're ever shining their lights at me or they're making that noise, I shoot them. So when I was playing it there, I couldn't hear them, and regardless, I didn't lose. I got to round 5 before they were like tapping on my shoulder. You got to get out now. So apparently, it took 5 minutes to get to round 5, and I don't know. It was a great experience. It looked great. As I was saying before, though, like there's nothing really different from what I've experienced now, other than the headset obviously was nicer. It was a much nicer headset than what I'm using on the DK2 as far as conforming to my head and of course tracking.
Yeah.
I never felt like my head lost tracking at any time. The hands, certainly when I'm doing certain things with them, there still is, it's not like noticeably big lag, but there is some lag to those ones when you move them around. They're not 100%.
Really?
Yeah, I noticed that as well, and
maybe that's the area.
What GPU were they running though, man?
we don't know what their test setup was. They had a very small area. It was more of a standing experience than a room
and I certainly
scale,
did use what I could. I knew where my boundaries were. I noticed other people were playing the demo and they were kind of doing this motion, and I got in there. I'm like, oh, I know how this works. And for once, I don't have to worry about these Razer Hydra, cables. So I got in there and I was like ready to move my arms around a little bit. And I think we have some video of that. We'll definitely have some video of that stuff coming.
It's really, really interesting that you say that, though, man, because I'll literally get no perceived latency.
Like I said, it could have been environmental. It could have been set up. That was my first experience with the Vive, and it was really good. I'm not gonna say that it was. I don't know. If I had to call it right now, I do like my CV1 better, but that also could have been set up.
Chris is going to bed. Good night, Chris.
Yeah, good night, Chris.
Good to hear about the video. I'm sure
I don't know.
It's going to be VRSpies. Love video, I'm sure. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see that, Chris. So definitely ping us all a link in community chat, and we'll be sure to watch that right away. So.
And a real quick tech minute here. I don't know who it is, but we're getting massive feedback from somebody.
I only hear it when.
I ain't getting nothing, man. He works on Crystal.
When I hear when you're talking, I hear it. I don't hear it when Wayne talks or when I talk, but I do hear it when you're talking. So I do think it's somewhere on your end, buddy.
I don't have anything that would be causing that.
Yeah, because when you're talking, I hear kind of a feedback going.
No, I hear you feedback, and it's weird.
Can you hear me feedback, Wayne?
I can't hear no feedback, man. I'm just looking at these some of these questions. I've got VR Keep It Live says, has Wayne cancelled his Rift yet for a 1080? Yes, that's happened. I've got a fair bit of available funds ready to get some shit, to be honest. So I've cancelled the Virtuix Omni. I thought they felt like they were taking too long. I paid that in full like 16 months ago. So that went back into my PayPal account. So yeah, the rest of the money, I'm gonna slam it on some GPUs, man. End of the month. I think for me, like my 290X, it's good. It works okay, but when I'm recording at the same time, it's not as good as I'd like, So I'm not playing anything maxed out anymore in VR because I've gone from the 75 to 90 FPS. The render has gone up from 1080 to pretty much 2K or whatever it is now. So I need more horsepower. It was fine for the DK2. It's not fine for the Vive. It's okay. It's adequate. But if you're recording, you need more.
Right.
Just my opinion.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know they've got some capture cards that have been coming out as well, so it's maybe beneficial to get one of those. Who knows? Maybe they're like $200, I think. $200 US. Yes. Speaking of capturing videos, I was wanting to do some mixed reality capture stuff recently, and I was reaching out to Colin at Fantastic Contraption, and he basically said that eventually, soon, they're going to have an update which allows other headsets to not see that error message, which I get, so that I don't have to do all these contrast changes and saturation changes, and should actually be able to get some more better footage.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, like, just because you're on a DK2, it's still open VR, so OS VR, DK2s, all Steam's an open platform, so that you shouldn't be hindered by something like a technical limitation because the developers put an error message on there. It's bullshit. So I think that's rightly so, mate. Maybe like a little message that you can click to get rid of, like like the just something, press A to continue or something, just a little thing at the start. They don't have to have it the whole time. So
exactly, I completely agree. It's like some way to disable it, some way to minimize it, and I basically asked that, and he's like, "Oh, we'll work on that, definitely, thanks." So it's like I believe him. We'll wait until something happens. I did try Job Simulator, a little bit of that. I got very frustrated because I I was trying to do the first-person camera where you see my hands the whole time as I actually pick stuff up, and
Mm-hmm.
it worked really well when I was like that. But the moment my hands get this far away, it was just the tracking was not proper, and I didn't light the room properly, so it was just a big fail. Still, I had a lot of fun playing it, and just the nice thing is, like you said, being able to play. Kind of going back to full circle here is being able to play the Vive games with my Oculus DK2 and do these things is really what makes me enjoy VR, and the fact that Vive people, the Vive users out there, which is becoming larger and larger every single day. The Vive population, they're not allowed to use the Oculus Home stuff, So I mean, what and bear with me, what benefit is it to develop for Oculus as a platform when they're only going to distribute your content to a much smaller, group of users, whereas, when they distribute them to the Vive users, you're going to get everybody. You've got no reason to put your time into those Oculus builds. You really have no freaking reason to do it. And I don't get it, and as a lot of people have also confirmed, is if you want to sit there and put Vive support or Steam SDK support in your build, you cannot submit it to Oculus Home. They won't allow it. So if you want to submit a build to Oculus Home, it has to have just the Oculus SDK built into it, and that's it. Otherwise, they won't allow it in there per their policy.
Man.
Talk about closed system.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was pretty messed up. That was pretty messed up to hear.
Caleb,
yeah, what's up?
I'm just putting a little link into the VRSpies Skype. This is mentioned in the comments. I just saw a moment ago that I just saw a comment on here. Glenn Edwards has mentioned it about Walkabout, on VR. So it's basically like the whole perspective changes. So you, in theory, can walk the whole length through the whole game. I saw a little bit about this on the gallery. Like there's the new gallery game out, right? And you can teleport. People use it for teleporting. But there's this one guy. He literally, as he was walking the whole length of his room, got to the end of his room. He could see like the bounds of the end of his room. He literally does a 180 turn, presses a button, and then his whole perspective changes. So he's still facing the way he thought he was facing before he actually turned around. So then he walks back and he keeps progressing forwards, but he's just 180 turning. So he's walking lengths of his whole room.
Right.
But in the game, he's just walking the whole way, straight. So it's a way to get around rooms, being limited by room scale and using it to keep going. I think that's the gist of it. Anyway, it's pretty interesting stuff.
I've heard of actually of different locomotion mechanisms for doing things such as this. This one does seem kind of like it's a pain in the ass because he has to do it so often, but at the same time, how cool is that he's actually room scale walking around? And
yeah, that is
to walk around the house. How many steps was it around the house? Well, I will tell you how many steps it is around this house. I mean, you can actually do something like that. So
I'll tell you, it kind of segues over to something that I had in the agenda. There is a company called Daguda that actually is pretty much ready and demonstrating full 6 degree of freedom positional tracking using SLAM with a standard cell phone camera for the Gear VR and other VR headsets. Yeah, so I mean, literally, I've got a link here, Caleb, over in the sidebar if you want to put that up. But,
is that the controller? Is that the controller that's got 6 degrees freedom?
No, the headset. Literally, so you'll just be able to walk around. Yeah, positional tracking on Gear VR.
Positional. Yeah, nice.
Untethered. Yeah. So I saw that today, and I was like, man, that's actually really, really cool.
There's no link in the sidebar.
Yeah, there is. I'm looking at it right now. Getting close to mobile VR tracking to go
to. See it in the sidebar. So put it
push for emo on here. Push for emo. So it's the weekend. Anyone getting laid? Let us know in the comments, guys. Hashtag VR
yeah.
Well, I would like to think so, but I don't know if we're friends anymore.
Snow Dog, man. Snow Dog saying, getting laid? Things are getting so bad that I don't even go near my cock anymore.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord.
He took the joke already from me. Good job, buddy.
Oh, man. Killed it.
True lad there. True lad. Yeah.
Oh, man.
What's that link there, buddy? I don't...
No, hold on. I'm just going to see if I can screen share, because I think we were both admins on this one.
I
Oh
just
yeah.
got a quick question for you guys.
Now
And
you
there's
are.
a little
Now
mention
you
in the
are.
comments as well. Is there any more news about like Pascal with SLI? Because I know that they're working towards like was it VR? It was and something to do with NVIDIA. I think it's like GameWorks VR. Basically, you had one card for each eye. Is that still a thing? Rather than it sort of flipping between? Because I know that they had sync issues, which means you couldn't use SLI for VR. So, are they any closer to that? Do we know? Or
I haven't heard anything about it. The only thing I've heard recently is with the old 1080, 1080, 1080, and
yeah,
the
this is
Spectrum
what
it seemed
this is
great,
where
but
Greg's missing
This is
now.
where
You
I
know what I
know.
mean?
Where's Greg? Where's Greg? It's killing me. I put
hashtag
that
where's
link. I
Greg?
put that. Yeah. Hashtag where's Greg? Yeah. I put that link in the VRSpies.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Just having a
Gotcha,
quick look
gotcha.
now.
Well, yeah, and towards mobile scale, is that what this link is that I'm looking at here? All right, we're gonna check out this awesome link here. This is
Yeah. So this is the Dakuta. I don't know if that's the name of the app or the company, but basically it's kind of showing a little bit of a difference of what they are seeing with a normal, like what Google Cardboards can do right now, things like that, other mobile headsets, and then they're going to show their technology here in a second,
Oh
and
wow.
literally he can walk around. I mean, it's using SLAM, and it's using markerless positional. So I mean, if that's kind of the holy grail, a headset that's untethered to anything that allows you to completely walk through your space.
right. As long as it scanned your environment pre you running around in that environment, it'll work. So it seems like
Hmm.
a very thing. And for anybody who's listening and not actually seeing, basically, yeah, you're seeing somebody on a cell phone who is just basically scanning their area, taking a video of their area, and then allowing themselves to walk through it in virtual reality, which is really, really cool. So,
Yeah, that's mint. That is mint. I think that like if they could get sort of like the Vive controllers going on with that sort of tech, but being I don't know, or even like a Leap or
Well,
something.
that actually with the stuff that came out of Google I/O, the new Daydream, which is Google's new VR platform going forward, Cardboard is going to get kind of retired. They are going to actually have a controller that has basic. It doesn't have positional tracking, but it does have orientation tracking.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, that was part of the news that came out with Google Daydream.
Ah man, I'm so excited to because look, before I didn't realize how important having VR hands was. I mean, I know I got a taste of it with the Hydras, and the Hydras now they're supported by Steam VR has opened up into a whole new beast, man. Do you know what I mean? It's never been a better time to own a Hydra. You know what I mean?
right.
But
Unknowingly, and they're not $600 as everybody keeps saying. They're like $300 or $400 on eBay.
I've seen
The
them
one,
go for 200 quid.
yeah, the one that's $600 is don't ever buy the one from that guy. Okay, he's trying to
Yeah, he's a cock.
he's trying to jip you there, but not regardless. Yeah, I mean, I got mine for less than $100, brand new.
Yeah, well, you guys all suck.
So
I have
you
no
can
motion
just
controllers.
keep looking, and
I know. I'm looking every day, man.
there are some sitting in packages sitting in some nerd store that doesn't even know what they've got, and they just want somebody to get hold it. They just want
I,
somebody to
I,
run it
Yeah,
over.
I just want a reasonable set of Hydras until Touch comes out. It's like,
Yeah, the only downfall to Hydras is that cable, and
yeah,
every once
I
in a
know.
while, I mean, I knock my stuff over daily, all the time, and it's something that I've learned to deal with. Actually, I got half of a sore neck from having to put my headset up and lean over and pick that stuff up all the time. And not only that, the controller, when you're doing your controller, sometimes your controller flips around. I got to share a fun experience. I was playing Space Pirate today, and I was just being all badass, doing everything I could. Yeah, right. As you do when you play Space Pirate, you cannot help but be badass when you play Space Pirate, whether you win or lose. And I was changing things, and at one point I got my controller too close to the Razer Hydra Station, which flipped my right arm, made my right arm like spin out it was like I could see it 12 feet in front of me, and it's like, well, I can't use that, so it's like, all right, put the right one in my pocket, and I pulled the left one out, and I put it in my right hand, and I just switched it back to the bullets, and there I was going one shot, and I actually made it much farther than I usually do, considering I had one pistol, and that it was a great experience. A screw up with VR, but still a wonderful one in real life. Because hey, what if a gun jams on you? You got to throw it. You got to grab your last gun, and then you got to go with that. And that
yeah.
moment right there couldn't happen in real life. I didn't have, there's no pausing going on. It was great. That was a lot of fun. So I really do think that the motion controls are going to be one of the biggest factors for VR. I mean, the conversation is going to go eventually it's going to go off of Oculus shipping sucks, and the Vive shipping sucks, or whatever they want to talk about.
Yeah.
It's going to go on the fact of, hey, what can we do with our systems? And we're kind of, this week, I know one thing we've gone back and forth in our own personal chat is we've gone back and forth to talking about how we all love motion controllers. At the same time, we all do kind of like relaxing in a chair and sitting down and playing chair games. We don't always want to play every game where we have to stand up, which is totally true. Totally true.
No, absolutely.
But there's got to be a system that works really well sitting down and has motion controls. Hey, Oculus, we thought it was you, but you're just kind of lagging behind. Vive, what about Vive users? What do they think with sit-down games? Obviously,
I thought it was good. I played that Kismet.
Right.
That Kismet was a seated experience. So of course, put my chair in the middle of the room, sat down, loaded up the game. Sure enough, I was sitting down, and it mapped me perfectly. It was fucking awesome. I tell you what, I got given that key, but I'm being 100% honest. I'm 100% real. It was fucking good. I anticipated myself giving it like it's okay, but you know what? After that, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Same here. Same here. I mean, that was like one of the high points of my week last week. Playing that game.
And I thought about it. The only thing that I would like going forward from them, it would be some subtitle options, like to turn the subtitles on. My missus is deaf, so she likes looking around and looking at stuff. She loves Audio Shield because she just loads up some drum and bass and she's off, but she can feel the vibrations of it, but she can't really hear what people are saying. But she'd love to have a go on that, but it's maybe an option for subtitles if the dev's watching. Who knows?
Yeah, that's that brings up a point. I think that needs to be an option in every game.
Yeah, if you're going to even make a video that you think is a great video, put subtitles on it. I mean, people like subtitles. Just I know for me, every time I watch a Netflix show with my wife and we watch it with subtitles. English isn't her first language. Granted, she's in linguistics and she knows it better than I really mean that. The fact is, I actually have grown to like them as well. So yeah, subtitles are a great option to have, whether you're in a game, any kind of media that's going to be published. Show us that you want to put the effort into it. Give it accessibility to all people, not just one person.
Make it as an option. Don't force it on people, but just make it a little option they can turn on.
Yeah, accessibility is the way to go for published games. I mean, we always want to talk about what do developers need to put in their apps, and that we need to talk about right away is the most important things. Is accessibility through sight, as well as options to change brightness. Some apps have it, some don't. I mean, come on, we need a brightness in-app setting.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a conversation that
contrast
needs to happen.
in app setting.
Fallout 4 didn't even have that, man. What? How did Bethesda miss that?
Simple contrast, simple brightnesses in your games. We need to have control mechanisms, and obviously people, if they want subtitles, that is an important thing to put in your media if you're going to have words or any kind of documentation that needs to be understood. Think about it. I mean, I play some games where I don't have my headphones on, and I know you should always, but hey, what if I miss something huge? I mean, it'd be nice to know that I should put my headphones on because I see the subtitles popping up. I mean, just anything. I don't know. I'm complaining about silly things here, but as a developer, as listening to small-time developers, I do always hear them asking questions on what do we need to make sure we put in these things, and those are certainly things that I think, especially with these early HMDs, we have to have, considering that some people see the God rays extremely well and others don't, and simple contrast settings and brightness settings would change, reduce, and differentiate people's viewings, then as opposed to just you get one choice, one option every time you're playing a game. Because I know when I played even what it was I played Declimb CD1 when we were there, and it wasn't bad. All I know is that if I was playing long term, I do have a sensitivity with my eyes regardless, and I would probably want to either increase the contrast and turn the brightness down a little.
Well, now the climb actually, and that kind of goes back to the thing that Greg found from Gamer Muscle about the increasing the render resolution.
Right.
The climb actually doesn't down samples, and they've pretty much figured that out. It's the only thing that will not upsample with the using the debug tool. So yeah, and it's like I guess the base is 0. It's like set at like negative 0.77 or something. So that's why the backgrounds kind of have a blur to them.
Right.
That's the only thing. It's like I'm looking at these beautiful vistas and they all kind of look blurry.
Right. That's something I need to look at. Because I mean, I had the debugger tool day one. I never got into it because I don't don't want to touch that stuff. I'm scared to touch it.
Well,
But
no, apparently with the Oculus, and I think it works with the DK2 as well, Caleb.
I will try it.
You know, basically you go in, you open the debug tool, and you set it to like 1.5 or 2.0. I mean, you can set the number. It's actually defaulted to 0. But you change that number, and all of a sudden people said it's like looking at a whole new headset. The resolution looks incredibly sharp.
Yeah, and if your system can handle it, then why not at least give it a try? I mean, a lot of people are already spending the money for it, and we want to see it. So I do get that they want to have a 90 frames per second at least minimum for everything, and they've got to have certain things to put in for.
Well, and people who were talking about it were saying that, yeah, it will cause you to dip under that 90 frames, but then asynchronous time warp kicks in, and you're good.
Right, which can't guarantee it for everything, but I do hear exactly what you're saying. It sounds like something I'm gonna certainly play with ASAP.
I'll be doing it as soon as the podcast is over.
You better not. You better not. You better not. You better not. You better not.
Why?
I'm gonna do it first. I'm gonna do it first. Doing it first. Yeah. Okay. When I'm gonna do after the podcast, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play Space Pirate Trainer streaming for like an hour.
Well, that's fine. You with your motion controllers, you can do that.
And you know what? I'm gonna stream Space Pirate, and it's gonna be my last ditch effort at trying to stream and get sympathy from the community. But no, it's gonna be fun. I actually do think I think I can do pretty well. I practiced just a little bit today, and I got like 40,000 just on like one run that I was kind of just messing around. Yeah, just messing around. 40K. So I think I could do a lot better, especially if I really get into it and make sure to keep the house nice and cool. So the sweating will try to be to a minimum. But yeah, that would be fun to be able to do something and get a high score there. And regardless, I do have to say, my wife has agreed to be an amazing woman, and she said, regardless of donations, regardless of people trying to help me, she's going to allow me to use part of her credit card to try to fixate and get that Oculus Rift. So
kick ass, man.
What a diamond, man! What a diamond.
Right on.
Yeah, man.
I'll drink to that.
There's one thing which I've been kind of like buzzing about for a little while now, and I always talk about it. You guys are probably sick to the death of it now, but I really want to get like an open world game that's fully playable with motion controllers in VR. And there's 2, but they currently both have shitty graphics. I mean, we've got like Minecraft with the Vive support. So it's been it's not official, proper modded in. It's working, but it's working well. And that 5089, that's a really good game. It's got really deep gameplay elements, all kinds of RPG choices, but it looks shit. If you can get past that, there's some really great gameplay there, and the motion controls make it. But going forward, I mean, something like that Spell Fighter thing, like, oh man, like if we had that, or like Half-Life VR added into a proper open world, even if it was a mod like Skyrim or something like that. But when's that going to come? I mean, I know I don't want it to fail, but I'm thinking like No Man's Sky, maybe. Like, is that going to support Vive as well, or is that? I mean, I know they're not. Even if it supports PlayStation VR, like, are they going to use the Move controllers, or is it going to be? What do you guys think on that?
I don't know much about as far as the Vive support. I mean, since I won't have a Vive right away, I try not to. Think much, but no, I know. I think they're going to have to. I mean. As far as the controller support, it's something that you're going to have, especially in games like that. There's just so many things that you can do with the motion controllers, as opposed to having to use an Xbox controller, which is great for certain games, and even driving games, or Blaze Rush. Or I played Blaze Rush for the first time. Fun game, Blaze Rush. We all need to play some Blaze Rush.
Actually, dude, I love Blaze Rush.
I don't have it yet, but I'll buy it.
But yeah, look, even not necessarily just that game. I just want an open world, man. Just let me loose. Right. I know that the Solus project. He's just received his Vive. Before, he was trying to add motion controllers, trying to add support just by using the Unreal SDK and just ticking a box. Didn't quite work. You could move him around. It wasn't perfectly mapped, but now he's received his hardware. So going forward, the Solus project might be another one. It's got full
I'm really
analog
excited about
movement.
Solus project.
Yeah,
I'd be upset because he's the developer that made videos and was very upfront years ago and showing how he was doing everything, and
very honest.
he really
Yeah,
inspired me. He really inspired me to do a lot of the things and to get into Unity and that kind of stuff. So really really
hard
enjoy that
working,
guy.
very hard working guy.
I do got to say, hey Matt, just relax, man. Okay, I got the wife and everything, but just she doesn't know what's going on right now. Okay, she's not here. Okay, hashtag VRGay. All right, we're good.
Yeah, hashtag VRGay. What happens on the VRSpies Exposed stays on the VRSpies
Yeah.
Exposed.
Thanks, man. It is great news. She is a trooper for somebody who puts up with a lot of crap, and she looks at the real world stuff. When I work production and I run audio gigs, or when I go out and do the mobile DJing and fun stuff like that, not that much fun. That's making the money, and she enjoys me doing those things. When I do the stuff, I spend all the time on videos and saying, "Hold on, dinner's gonna wait. I have to edit this picture to put in the video to make the title," and then she's like waiting, and she's like, "Any second now." It's like, then I gotta put it on Reddit, and it's like, okay, it's just the silly, stupid things that we try to do to promote things. It's she puts up with that, and she doesn't see the good stuff coming from it. But I do want to shout out. Luckily, there has been just a wonderful community who has very much helped me. I got VR Santa helping me. I'm not even sure who VR Santa is, but of course, Aaron, we got 6 marbles. 6 marbles helped me out, man. It was so cool, and just a lot of different people out there have just given, whether it's even a little bit or a lot. I mean, I've had $5, even I've had $1 given to me, and man, Vinicius, and he's giving me a lot more than that. But, I mean, people have donated to the channel, and I'll tell you right now, the hardware is coming. As far as I'm gonna get the Rift, and I'm certainly gonna be making a thank you video for that. I'm gonna be giving the proper thanks for that. But the Gear VR, and I do gotta say, I'm gonna shout this stuff out because this right here, this is the channels. I don't even use this phone for my real phone. I use this phone. It's the one I bought from Amazon for $50 to get the cheapness of the Amazon Prime. But my point is that I really do use this stuff to develop, and it wouldn't ever be able to happen without the community, without the VR Spies, without all of you guys. So I do want to say just thank you, very big thank you, and the people in chat. Almost all of you guys have something to do with that. So and I know it very, very well, and hopefully you guys don't ever think I forget it. So I wanted to say that hashtag VRGay.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I mean, every little bit helps.
Otherwise, I would just have. I mean, I got my DK2 myself, but then I quit working 70 hours a week and I started doing freelance, and then the channel just started providing. Blessed. Hashtag VR blessed, right? Ayo.
Yeah, man.
Talking about that, I want to jump over to Game Hard. I made a quick video for Game Hard this week as a. Yeah, that one was half for you too, Matt. I just want to let you know I was thinking about you, Matt, when I made that.
You should see these comments, man. You should see these comments. Hashtag VR not gay.
This is hilarious, dude. I've been reading the comments like, yeah.
It's just one of those things, man. If people want to get the love, well, they're gonna get the love.
I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not doing this to call him out, but I actually asked Matt if he wanted to come on and talk about getting his headset this week, but I don't know. He I guess it's his love for you, dude. He just couldn't do it.
I understand. I mean, it's one of those nights where we're taking it kind of chill again. Nobody's noticed. We have had a lot of things going on. People are sick. Some people aren't there.
Yeah.
I haven't finished half the projects I need to finish, and at least I'm working on them. But we're doing a lot of things at the moment. A lot of things happening everywhere. But the great thing is the community's being there and being a part of it. Being a part of it. So I guess if anybody's in chat right now that does want to actually ask any questions, we would like to
Yeah. What do you guys want to talk about?
And answer things as we're going. At the same time, I'm going to try to get some pictures here so we can show some of those. But yeah, we're very open today, especially. Not as open as we were last week. Okay, not that open.
Yeah, I got a lot of people asking.
I wasn't here.
Sorry.
I said, were we open last week? I don't know. I wasn't here. So.
Yeah, we were open, man. We were open. It was the IG and reality check show, man. That's how we rolled.
Right on, dude. Right on.
And we had a special guest for
an
hour.
I was gonna say I really wanted to be there last week, but you guys, it would have been horrible. I have been.
No, it's cool, mate. Yeah, it's cool.
2 weeks.
Yeah, don't even worry about it.
Still fighting it.
We've got people asking in the comments, man, like about Game Hard. What's going on with Game Hard?
Yeah.
People talking about Game Hard, man. And you know what? Like, I wish I knew. I've seen a video about it. It was quite a heartfelt moment about it. After that, I kind of felt confused. I felt sad. I felt happy to see him. I don't know, man. I don't think he's well at the minute. He's
something's going on.
he's had a lot of stuff going on. I know he had an issue before. You know, he openly said it. He had a stroke, man. But then he sort of seemed to recover very quickly. He was talking again, but he's still not talking. He's not talking like himself. He's beating himself up. He's sad. He's making jokes, but then you know at his own expense, you know. And I worry about that guy, man. And he's like, oh, I don't know if I should be part of the Spies anymore. I feel like I'm dragging you guys down. But honestly, he's not. He's a fucking legend.
No, dude, yeah, it was hard to watch that video. I mean,
Yeah.
it was, and man, if you're watching Game Hard, man, you could never drag us down, dude. You bring us
No.
up.
Yeah, we love you, man. Like
There was that one
100%.
time I was playing a set of Corsa, and he was like on my ass, and he totally dragged me down, and I was like, "What the hell, dude?" He's kicking my ass now. Game Hard is always welcome. He is just somebody who is just, I don't know, probably the easiest person to cheer you up as far as our group. You know,
Yeah.
the moment he jumps in, he usually gives you shit. He's usually gonna make fun of you.
He's banter. Yeah, he's funny banter.
But it is the
Heart
best
of
thing you
gold.
need to hear, especially if you're kind of just being silly sometimes. So the biggest thing that we've missed is not just I guess it's his presence, but the fact that he cheers us up. So we miss you cheering us up, but at the same time we want to be there to cheer you up. So I
Yeah.
really do hope that
Damn
we
straight,
we can banter with you a little bit and give you some shit, and at the same time
I just want him
like
to
we've all said, UKRifter, Chris, Wayne, you've said it all the time. I mean, nothing really needs to be said. You can't go anywhere. Well, go ahead and try. I've got your
No,
address, right?
I said it straight up,
phone
dude.
number. You can't go
Well,
anywhere. I'm gonna get you. All right.
Once you're a VR spy, you're a VR
Creepy.
spy for life.
Yeah,
And,
definitely,
creepy
man.
spots.
100%. And
That's
you know
really
what?
creepy.
If he needs to take some time out to get back on his own feet, recover,
Absolutely.
he's more than welcome to do that, and there's no pressure. He's always welcome back here, man. Always, 100%, man. And I hope he's watching.
I hope he is, or at least I hope he watches the playback.
Well, he's gonna have to because we're talking about him. And
I love his accent as well. I love how he speaks. He's got
Dude, he's got the best voice on YouTube. What are you talking about?
yeah, definitely.
Deep.
All right,
rich,
guys. When you have a second, definitely go over there, give him some love on the last videos that he's made, or just give him a comment if you haven't already. I know most of you guys already have. I think by the time I jump in and see most things, I see all you guys first commenting on there. It's like, all right, cool, they're in there, and I'm just always floored by that kind of thing, and it's hard to open up and things, and that guy does it, So, and at the same time, everybody knows we're talking about games, talking about technology. We've got people who we care about in real life here, so. And that's kind of what this group is. We want to talk a lot about that other stuff. At the same time, we also want to reiterate that we are individual people. We're not a company. We're not a conglomerate. Nobody together. We're sitting here just kind of friends, and we're trying to talk to you guys. And
friends,
we really want a mixture of the two things too, not just one. So I do. I'm glad that we can talk about that. But Gamehard, yeah, he's gonna be back soon. I'm pretty confident of that in the sense that I won't let him go. I won't let him go. And if I have to strike, whatever, I don't care. So it's gonna happen. But
I think it is good, man. I think it is good, and I think that's one of the best things about us, man. Like, no one controls us. We speak our mind, and it's honest. You know what I mean? And that's what it is all about. Everything that we say, we've not got someone tapping a stick saying, "Don't say that shit. Don't say that shit." It's just we're just being honest, man. And I think that's half the magic happens when you're just having fun. So. We just need to get some more multiplayer shit going on, I know people have been tied up, people are sort of concentrating on stuff, but if we can get some more multiplayer going on.
No, we need to, man. We really do. We talk about this a lot, but life is just pulling everybody where everybody's working, everybody's doing what they can to kind of promote VRSpies and get good content out there for the viewers. But we really need to start doing it together again. I agree.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
I noticed there's been a lot of driving going on, and even Billy, Pretty Neat VR, he's not here right now, but man, the last couple of videos he put out one today. The quality of those are great. He had a War Thunder video come out that looks.
He put out the. Well, actually, Anthony Stout in chat is asking, has anybody tried Assetto Corsa 1.3 with the 1.3 support? And unfortunately, Anthony, the two people who have tried it are not on the cast tonight. Well, Pretty Neat Gameheart and Greg. Greg did his first impressions video of it. I actually put a link to that over in the chat there. But yeah, I mean, obviously everybody knows that Assetto Corsa now is working with the Oculus Rift. That is awesome. I bought that game.
The UI looks sick, man.
7 months ago, and I've never been able to play it because I wanted to play it in the Rift. I literally started it up. Yeah, it works. Okay, great. Went to bed. The next morning is when everything updated on the new runtimes, and I could no longer play it. So I have been
It's
waiting
good.
for it to
Good
get
news
this.
for you then, mate.
Yeah,
Like,
finally.
yeah, the
I'm gonna
user
check it out
interface, man.
tonight.
Like, look, what I saw on the video, like, it looks amazing. So, like, you've got this whole UI similar to like the normal flat screen stuff, but it's like in VR space, and everything looks very polished. And I really do appreciate the physics, the way the wheel feels in your hand in that game. It feels so fucking good. So, I think you're in for a treat, mate. To be honest.
Greg was telling me that they actually did laser scanning on the tracks,
Yep, it's all laser scanned.
and so the force
yeah.
feedback is so precision in that game. So really looking forward to checking that one out over the weekend.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm excited to get on that as well. To be honest, I mean, even in the DK2, that's worth a look. Do you know what I mean?
Well, and speaking of looking forward to stuff, we've got Glenn Edwards in the chat, and he's asking. It's an open question for all of us. What are you guys looking forward to in the evolution of VR? Example, 4K displays, etc. What do you think the next steps in hardware will be?
Oh man, I've got a lot to talk about. So maybe Caleb should go first because I'm balls deep in this right now. So
Yeah. This is one of your triggers. So.
yeah, Caleb, go, man, go.
The only thing I was going to talk about just the meetup very briefly, which also good. I mean,
Well, no, this is a question.
Oh.
You weren't paying attention, were you?
No, I'm sorry. No, I wasn't. I was reading. I apologize, guys.
Yeah, no. So the question was basically what are we looking forward to most in the evolution of VR? Example, like 4K displays. What do we think the next steps in hardware are going to be?
What do I think? I think the most realistic thing we can have is just a big shift in lighting. I mean, the way that they're obviously we talk about the displays hitting your eyes, but I mean, lighting is a huge thing, and the kind of actual light that hits your eyes is a huge thing. When I walk out and I have the sun rays hitting my eyes, it affects me differently in my sight as opposed to a reflection from a screen. So just the ways that the screens actually project light to you, as well as the in-game lighting of things and in-game realism. Jumping into things simply like the lab, and when you jump around their little photo areas that have that photorealistic feel to it, that's mesmerizing to me. And as Wayne showed earlier, the games where you can just kind of walk around full scale and keep walking around, if they had that look to them and they had that feel to them, and I could see friends in them, that's what I'm most looking forward to. That right there is being able to walk around beautiful environments with other people, because I'm so tired of seeing the good stuff right now by myself. Even in development, I can create some majestic looking areas, but I'm by myself, and that's just it's lonely being in VR. So you want to get out of there so you can be in the real world. So if I had the friends and people in there that I could go see and hang out with, then I might actually want to stay in there a little longer. So that's my big thing, I think.
Yeah, man. I think like in a hypothetical way, say that we did get the resolution up to uncanny valley. Say that we did get the motion controls so they feel real and there's real haptics in there. Using magnets as haptic feedback, things like that. I think for me, rather than like once that side catches up, the biggest leaps forward are going to be software side, and for me, artificial intelligence, AI. The NPCs that you meet in the world, they look real, they're full 3D depths, stereo 3D, you can reach out and with haptics you can feel like you're patting them on the shoulder, and then they turn around and say, hey, what's up? And then you can have a full-blown interactive conversation, man. Like, I mean, like Don does this shit with his ship in Elite Dangerous.
Okay.
The next evolution of that shit, man, like you are gonna build rapport.
And I think that's coming, Wayne. I mean, because of the experiments that they've been doing with IBM's Watson AI and infusing that into NPC characters in games. And I mean, we are going to see here really soon the ability to absolutely have an open world, walk up to an NPC and start having a conversation, and you're not going to know if you're talking to a person or a computer-generated character. It's going to be.
I know, but like you're gonna care, man. Like say an open world, like Viking game or whatever, that man that's next to you could be an online player, and it could be your mate. But then these two next to you, you've known these longer, but they're AI. But you care just as much about them because they've been on the whole journey with you from crossing the channel to get to the islands you're invading. Like you've been on journeys and survived epic adventures with your AI, and you've built a rapport. They've responded. They've learned things about you, and then one of them dies. You know what I mean? You're gonna be devastated, man.
No. Revert to
Yeah.
save.
Or a dog,
No.
even a dog, man.
No,
Like a
man.
virtual dog, like
I could totally see building those emotional connections.
Yeah.
Once we start getting to that point where the AI
it's fucked up. It's
is
fucked up.
is good enough to respond to you. I
Hey,
mean, yeah,
let's
it's gonna be
stop
weird.
acting like this guy is not gonna. He's not gonna say anything. We gotta call him out. Billy, what is up?
Billy
Billy!
touches Willy.
What is going
Billy
on?
touches Willy. Hashtag VR gay.
You touched your Willy.
Oh, so you're talking to us, right? We can totally hear you right now. We can totally hear everything you're saying.
Yeah, what do you reckon, Billy, man? What do you reckon? Like, do you want to read the question to him again, Don?
Yeah, basically, God, I'd have to scroll way back up in the chat for that, man. I'm like 5 beers in here.
Okay, I can tell you, but I can tell you not verbatim, but basically, what sort of advances do you foresee going forward, be it hardware, software, and what are you most excited for in virtual reality?
Yeah,
Man?
but that was it. What are you most excited for?
He's not talking. His microphone won't
Your
work.
mic's dead, mate.
Like, dude, I think you got to go.
Really?
There's a little setting where it says up there in the top, it says
Click
settings.
the little microphone.
It says microphones, and you can click different microphones. So watch this. You hear this bad microphone now? You guys hear the bad quality? Right?
Hello. Check. 1, 2.
Chili check 1, 2.
Semblance.
Check.
Settings.
Czechoslovakia.
Basic settings.
Check it. What?
Can you
Go
hear
on
it?
then, man. Yeah.
Absolutely. We can hear you now, brother.
Oh, sweet.
It's good to hear you. Good to see your face.
Yeah, man.
Timor has said some eye candy is in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really funny.
Go on then. Did you hear the question, mate?
Yes. I still actually am looking forward to eye tracking. I mean, I think it's probably because I
Right. I do.
was into FOV, I guess, for a while. Like I am looking forward to that, and that goes along the lines with AI too. I don't know if you guys were talking about AI before that, but like eye tracking, if you were to make eye contact with an NPC and to be able to interact with them, I think that would be really cool.
Right.
AI
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Right.
dude.
See their eyes
the
dancing and
first
looking
time
over.
that happened to me in Half-Life 2, because the NPCs in Half-Life 2 move their eyes to look at you.
yeah.
And it really, really freaked me out in VR.
Yeah. It's exciting, man. Like, it's going to be crazy. Even property, you're going to care. You're going to care about your objects. You probably will have to buy objects in VR. Like, it's happening right now with games like Star Citizen. I own 2 ships. The game don't even just fucking support VR yet, but I own 2 ships and they're mine. And when I'm in there,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be my ships, man. And they're going to, like, it's just crazy.
No,
crazy.
dude, I care about my ship in Elite.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets damaged, it starts pissing me off.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Hey
man.
Don, did you see that? You watched that video I posted on Facebook, the AR video? It was like
Yeah, I did.
yeah, that was
really
nuts.
cool.
RCI research or whatever, the hyper reality video.
Yes, that
That's
was
pretty
really
intense,
cool.
really. That was kind of scary watching that, but it was also pretty funny too. It's kind of like a little bit of humor to it, I guess.
Yeah, it was a tad, but yeah,
Billy,
it
you
definitely.
actually we talked very briefly before you jumped in. You were saying you actually put out some really cool videos recently, some nice high quality looking War Thunder and some drive-ins at Assetto Corsa, I think, as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah. Assetto Corsa is awesome these days.
We had a question earlier asking if any of us had tried it, and we haven't. So why don't you take that one, man?
Yeah, man. Tell us all about it, mate.
Tell us about Assetto. That's I've been waiting for that update every day.
What's
and
different?
Finally here.
I feel bad because I literally just played it, and while I was making that video, that was about it. So, but I have noticed the UI and the menus and stuff on the screen is a little better. You can actually have stuff up and then you can click on it and hide it, like your I don't know, the damage model of your car, like your tire wear, all that stuff, and then the main menu, like say quit and all that stuff. And then you can also have a menu for like what place you're in and all that. But it's easy to just click a button and it slides up and hides.
Right.
But other than that, I was literally just excited because it had MK4 Supra in it. So I was like, I gotta drive this thing. This is awesome. But it looks good. That game's pretty badass, really.
Now I know in Greg's video he commented the scale is still a little off. Did you notice that?
The scale,
He said the car seemed just a hair too big.
I could see where he's coming from. I guess I don't know. The Supra felt just about perfect to me, and that's because I know exactly how it feels, to sit there. But I don't know. It seemed all right to me. That was the only car I got in, to be honest. I played it for about an hour and a half, just racing that around.
All right. I hear you, man. Okay. Well, since Don's running away right now, you know what that means, guys.
Question time?
Wrong!
Pictures! Picture time! Picture time! Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Shouldn't let me play with that toy. It's time for pictures. So that's right. We're gonna jump over and we're gonna hit this little button here. It's gonna take
yes! I didn't miss your guys' your Kansas City meetup. I was wondering about that.
Oh man, of course not. I wouldn't let you miss that. Come on, dude. Come on. I actually.
I'm so jealous though.
Before gone through these pictures, I don't know what you're about to see. So hopefully, Don didn't do anything.
Yeah, keep it PG, guys.
We don't know what's going to happen here. It's going to be interesting. So what I do know is that this is Kansas City or Lenexa, Kansas, right, where we're jumping in, right? And we're driving in. Yep. There's little Don and I in the car hanging out, right? Yeah, we're doing the old cam. What's great is the guy over here. You can. Yeah. Look, what's that guy doing?
What's he up to, man?
I don't know. Like, I was kind of looking at this picture later, and I was like, what? What's going on there? I mean,
what the fuck?
I don't know what's happening there, but I mean, we at least the situation. So yeah, we're walking around, chilling out.
Space t-shirt.
What does that guy do? Yeah, that guy's just carrying around a little cart.
Yeah, dude. You're watching the stream. You're not watching live.
Enhance photo. What's that show or movie where they just enhance it forever?
Oh, we're showing the pictures from the meetup.
Oh, Futurama, they do that too.
Don's back.
I'm back. What? All of a sudden, there's like pictures of us.
Yep. There's Yep. Okay, here's us. You can't. That was us getting ready to go find something to eat at the Brick, right?
The Brick, yeah, the place was awesome.
Yeah, we went to the Brick, and that was interesting. And then of course we got to run into Information here, guys.
Information here, guys.
Man.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
No, it was really cool to meet him.
It was my first time trying the CV1.
That was my first time trying the Vive.
Oh man, so what's the comparison like for you guys?
For me, well, okay, I really wish I would have had more time with it. We got there a little late because we did go to the Brick, and it took a little while to get our food from the most awesome waitress on the planet.
Oh, nice.
Just gotta throw that in there.
You like it.
He's looking around to see if his wife's about.
So you go to a place, and I'm just gonna rant about this for a second. It's not even VR related, but I've had about 7 beers now. So, okay, so you go to a place, and it has build your own burger.
Oh, nice.
So you tell them what you want on your burger, and then the waitress serves it to you, and with a snide comment about how you were picky about what you wanted on your burger. It makes sense. Just the way you ordered it, sir.
Dang.
So, yeah. Anyway, but no, the comparison between the CV1 and the Vive for me, I really, like I said, wish I would have had more time to actually adjust it properly, things like that. It was a pretty quick demo, close to the end of the event. What I noticed, and I know some people in the chat are probably going to go, oh hell no. The field of view was smaller than a DK2. That's got to be an adjustment thing. The screen door was way more pronounced than the CV1. I definitely saw the screen door. It almost kind of looked like something between DK2 and Gear VR.
Huh.
You know, the displays themselves. I was playing Space Pirate Trainer. Now, what I did really enjoy was, once again, the motion controllers. Guys, we got to get motion controllers for the CV1. If I could have had those motion controllers with the CV1 headset, heaven. And no God rays, of course. And the God rays is what I really wanted to compare. They are completely different in the Vive, at least for me, than they are in the Rift. In the Vive, they kind of almost gave me the impression of somebody almost shining a little pin light flashlight from behind the lens, and it was making like little white dots, you know, that moved around. Where in the Rift, it's a ray that hits the Fresnel backing and then just kind of smears across the entire screen. So, you know, the God rays were a little more forgiving, but overall, if I had to choose a headset and say, you know, which headset is the headset for me, it is definitely the Oculus Rift CV1.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
Just doesn't
That's
have
good
those
stuff.
motion controllers. That's all.
Yeah, then you got to get the motion controls. We got to get the touch in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Once we
That's
get the
one thing
touch
I always liked. I liked about the DK1 of the Vive.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want to support Oculus anymore. I had to give up.
Well, here's my thing. Oculus's headset to me is a nicer headset, and the built-in headphones for me is a big thing I like. I hate having to take my headphones on and off. It's a pain in my ass. And
Yeah, it is,
the fact that
for
I
sure.
couldn't use the headphones on the Vive, and I couldn't play
The
Space
mic
Pirate
sounds like
properly.
shit as well. The mic on that fucking Vive sounds like shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Just why even have it on there?
I just,
Why even have it on there?
oh god, he's chewing gum when he's. Why is he chewing gum? Oh, somebody tell him to spit the fucking gum out of his mouth. God, dang it.
Where's that at?
This is.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that guy chewing gum and.
Yeah,
You know.
oh look, it's amazing. He's chewing gum. I was actually playing Blaze Rush while I was standing up, and the tracking was going off, but they didn't have the ideal setup, I guess, for the position of my height.
I think both demos didn't have the ideal setup.
Right.
Mm.
I took that. See, actually, this is kind of funny. So actually, as you'll notice, I had the headphones on, and at one point he was talking, so I took the headphones out, and I just kept playing, but I had my headphones out, so I was still listening to him, right? But I'm just like, all right, I'm still in my world here, as long as I know what's going on out there. So I like that I can do that very easily, and those, you know, the headphones are a huge feature that I really like on the CV1. To me, that's probably one of my favorite features that they had. So.
And to be honest, I think that's a really good thing that they came with good headphones, you know, like, and that, you know, you can unmount them. And to be honest, these things came with the Vive. I don't know if you can see these. They're still in the wrapper. I've not even got them out. They look like the things you get with a mobile phone.
You know, but they are actually HTC's premium line of earbuds, and as a tech buyer, I buy a lot of headphones.
Yeah.
They're actually supposedly really decent head earbuds. You know, Greg commented on that the other day. He said that they were actually really good.
They may well be. I think the mic kills it though, because I can't.
The mic is crap.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
I need this has got a built-in one, you see. So I'll use this one because it's got a built-in mic.
Yeah.
And you know, like I don't want to get another mic just at the minute, you know. Like once I get proper room scale set up, I'll probably go for a new whole wireless headset, you know.
Well, that's what Greg ended up doing that. He ended up having to get it. I'm using the CV1 mic now on my videos. It sounds crystal clear. It's behind fabric, so it also works as a pop filter.
Nice.
It's a nice mic. It really is, and the audio in the CV1 I can comment on. It's phenomenal.
Really?
It's better than the headset that I'm wearing now, and I paid $200 for this headset.
Damn.
So
I'm really pumped still about that OSIC or OSSIC. The
OSIC, yeah, the OSIC headphones.
Yeah, I actually I could care less about headphones because like those still really have my heart, kind of like anything that's like full like 360 like headset like sound, surround sound, like that stuff always interests me. And if it's positional sound, yeah.
The positional audio in the Rift is incredible.
Really?
Yes. Oh my God. Playing IO Moon and some of the other games that have really nailed that positional audio, it is incredible. I mean, you hear something happen way back over here, and you know exactly where to look.
Pinpoint accuracy.
It is like literally like lifelike sounds.
Wow.
So Billy,
That's what you want. I think audio does get overlooked a lot in VR. it seems like that's never the main thing to talk about. I feel like we don't ever talk about audio and like headphones and stuff.
I'll
But
jump right back to audio, but real quickly in this video here, I wanted to mention. So Don is talking to the curator, one of the guys that was running this KSVR, Andrew here, and Don was like, "Hey, by the way, so here's this thing on this chair, and what's really cool."
Oh yeah, I was
and
showing
this
him
props
Battle
to-
Share. Yeah.
This props to you. This guy's like, "Oh yeah, I know that article. I've read that stuff."
Yeah, I read that
And
article.
it's like, I've
I
read
was
that
like,
before.
awesome.
You guys have that site with things. It's like, oh, people have heard about VRSpies. Oh, it's so cool.
You know, that little site.
Awesome.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy's like,
that's
this guy's
awesome.
like- this
No,
guy's-
it really was. They really received us well. You know, we did an interview with Andrew, and I
Nice.
think Caleb's got the video footage of that we'll be working into an article for the site.
Got Hooper doing a tilt brush right there, but yeah, we certainly have a nice little interview with Andrew, kind of talking about what they're doing and his 360 camera orb that's chilling out there as well. So hopefully we'll have some footage from all that stuff coming real soon. So no, it was a good time. It was worth the trip, and I was very glad that they offered that to the public because obviously their time and
and
hardware, a lot of people. So
you see, he's got the 360 GoPro rig right there. So yeah, a lot of this was filmed in 360 as well, and I think he said he'd be emailing you that footage.
yeah, he should have it there somewhat soon, as far as
Nice.
I know. So I'm looking forward to having that come. Oh wow, this must be your camera phone here. So
I don't know who, if it was, that's Hooper filming with it, because that's not me. Yeah, that's my bald. I mean, that's my gray head right there, and coming into the frame.
yeah,
So,
So, Billy, did you actually order yourself a Vive now, or what, man? What's the situation with your stuff?
Yes, I canceled my Fove, my Oculus, and just ordered a Vive, and then I want to. If I do have any leftover money when that actually charges, I'm probably gonna do the start on a 2 Degrees of Freedom transducer chair. Probably have like a motion sim kind of thing. I want to start working on that.
What about GPUs? Are you going to be happy with your? Still got a 970, right?
Yeah, I'm all right with that for now. I don't really. I mean that. Well, the 1080, man, that is good. That's good stuff. Their benchmarks look pretty good. If it's not like outrageous, and if I have money by the time that comes out, I would consider ordering it. But I really need to build the rest of my computer back up. Actually, my GPU is actually the strongest part of my car or computer, and it's just a 970. So.
right on.
I hear you there, man.
But I mean, I could easily rack up $1,000 in computer parts if I wanted to right now.
Yeah.
So
You know how that goes. You buy one part and you're like, well, now I need DDR4 RAM. I need to get a new motherboard.
That's what I've been doing for like 2 years now. 2 years straight. It's been this slow. By the way, wife, I need to get the computer, and she's like, "Well, didn't you just buy one of those?" Yeah, but I got to upgrade. I bought the crappy version before just to have one, and now I need the better one to actually be good with it. And that was a long conversation. But one quick, since we're talking about this kind of somewhat related, I wanted to at least ask the questions. And Don, I know you sold yours for almost, let's say it's almost $5.
No, I got $600 straight up.
Say like the DK2, is it worth selling? Is it worth keeping? Is it? I mean,
There
when I
are
do get a CD1,
times.
should I sell this? Should I hold on to it and wait and get money later, 10, 20, 30, 50 years from now? Or?
It's not gonna ever hit that kind of collector status.
Right.
There was too many of them.
Right.
But
Is it useless then? I mean, I don't know.
you know, there were times I'm finally getting over my freaking hatred of this God Ray thing. But there were times, that I kind of wish that I would have kept my DK2 just for playing certain games. Elite Dangerous. It does look better in the CV1, don't get me wrong, but the God Ray thing really, really bothers me in that game. I wish I would have had my DK2 still as a backup just for that specific game. Because even the SDE and things like that never really bothered me in that game.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's one thing I think I mentioned with you too, Don, is that as talking about the DK2 is I think this is the best headset, and I'm certainly going to go into that more in depth later. But I mean that very candidly. This is the best headset that there is.
Pound for pound, cost.
For $350, I'm playing Space Pirate and other games, obviously with other motion controllers, third-party ones. But I mean, I'm still playing all those same games, getting great results in the headset. The newer games look better. The games look better, and right now, and the other headsets look also better in the DK2 than the previous ones that were coming out. And
Yeah.
that's obviously developers as well as the change in the runtimes that's happened. But pound for pound, as you said, this is by far the best
Good headset.
and you know, it's been out for however long now, and yeah, just by putting my tracker in different positions, I can play different games much, you know, and with high accuracy, and it's just I'm just so surprised that, you know, for 350 I got this, you know, relatively quickly without much drama, and when I needed replacements, I got my replacements, and it's just sad to see. I'm actually really sad to see this era go away. I'm sad to see this marketing for this CV1. It scares me. I do somewhat feel like, you know, VR is gonna change. I know it's obviously it's gonna change. It's gonna be mainstream. It's gonna get huge. I do hope the community stays somewhat small, as far as you know, I guess people that are good to each other. I don't know.
I think
it will do.
it's special. It's very special. I think the word is special rather than small, man. I think that
I guess you're right. You're right.
you know, if it blows big, as long as it stays special, that's the thing, man. Like,
And you know, you never know who's going to add to the community. I mean, we're going to have a lot of new blood coming in, and
Right.
Every day.
you know,
Every day.
Yeah,
and
that's
speaking of new blood. We've actually here in a minute, guys. If nobody objects, we're going to have Alan. We've had him on before. He got his Vive this week, and he
Ooh.
is a newcomer to VR.
nice.
He's been very excited, waiting for the prospect ever since I showed him VR. So yeah, if I just sent him a link, so he should be popping in right about now. Hey,
Nice
Alan,
one.
what's going on?
What's up?
Hey,
And I
Nice
actually, in about 5 minutes, I'm gonna have to
Oh,
run
yeah,
because my
yeah,
wife's
I
gonna
know
be
this
sick.
guy.
But I will keep the stream going. I won't exit it or anything like that. I'll just minimize or, you know, mute my things, so that way you guys can keep talking and the streams
so,
keep going.
so Alan, man,
So,
how was your first impressions with the Vive? Very interested
it's
to
been
hear.
great. Really been great. I've read so many like people having like difficulties getting it set up or having tracking issues, but I've had none of that. It's been really, really awesome. Yeah.
100% I have to agree, man. My experience has been flawless, other than the fact that my room's very small. It's been awesome. You know? That's the only downside.
Yeah. I'm going to be
What's the
having
space?
the small room problem here after a bit, because I'll be moving. But currently, this is the space that I have.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Nice, that's a
yeah.
good space.
Yeah, let me click on you so people can see it. Here we go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Nice.
And, as far as that, when you do your test on there, what does it tell you your meter by meter is?
Oh, I know that it gets up to the, I want to say 3.5 on one end.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Surprised with the hydras, I can always make the system think I'm about, you know, 2.7 by 2.7 even as I'm doing my little circle with the controller. But my head tracking is certainly not that same size. So it's awesome that you have that room to be able to run in. One thing I do got to say too, talking about Space Pirate and room scale, I've noticed that, you know, the guy that's got the number one, or, you know, the guy that's running around room scale though, he seems to have a very good strategy of running in an oval. And when you have a bigger room, you can be better at those games. I mean, it's much harder to do well at a game like that when you only have a little meter by meter area, like does, or, you know, like you were talking about there, you know, IG83. And as I was saying, did you get to try Space Pirate yet, Alan? I'm interested.
I have not. I'd love to, but
You need to try it.
Go,
It's good.
go.
Oh man. Oh, you need that. Oh.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
I just got Project Cars yesterday.
There you go.
Yeah.
You
Nice.
have a wheel for that one too, then? I assume.
No, I do not, but
See?
it was like half off, and I had to.
I feel
Yeah.
that I still don't have it, but the wheel I have is a 90-degree turn. Make sure you do not get one of those. Get yourself a 180 or 360-degree
No.
turning. It needs to have.
You want
You
yes.
need to get a good wheel.
You
need
want
to get a good wheel.
Which
nice little Logitech. Like I picked this up, the Force Pro. Found it on Craigslist for $40.
Okay.
Nice little force feedback wheel pedals. It's got the little sequential shifter. $40 on local Craigslist.
Okay.
Met a
The
guy in
people on Reddit were like saying to get like a, what is it?
Yeah.
G27.
The G27, the G29 is the newest one.
Yeah.
You know, I decided, you know, I've never been huge into the racing games. So did I want to go and drop $300 on a wheel? You
Yeah,
know?
I don't want to do that.
This is a great kind of stepping stone.
Yeah.
I would definitely say the Force Pro line is an awesome stepping stone. Get that. If you like the sim racing with it, which I do, and I am now looking for a G27 or G29, you know, then step up.
Even like the Driving Force GT, man, that's a low entry, that's an entry level wheel, and it's fucking amazing force feedback. It's really, really good. You
Well,
don't
no,
have a
that's
clutch.
what I'm sorry. That's what I have. I'm sorry. The Driving
Yeah,
Force GT. Yeah.
yeah, it's very, very nice. And I think the actual that was my first wheel. The only difference is it had a sequential shifter on it,
Mhm.
and you know the G27, G25 have got H gate shifters and a little bit quieter, but the actual feedback feels very similar on the wheel. So
We got
for
to, was it,
the
just
price
Marvel
point,
stuff. He left his G27 at his horrible ex's house. I could totally. That's the worst. That's the worst thing you could do is leave your good wheel at a girl's house because you know she's not going to use it. She's not.
Oh yeah, no, it's just gonna
It's
sit there, man.
like $50. She doesn't know what it's worth. She's gonna be like, "Who wants this? Just pick it up. I don't care." Yeah, some other guy's playing with your wheel right now.
So I got a question
Sorry.
for Alan. Yeah, I got a question for Alan actually because I've been talking to you for years now, and I know you've been really anticipating this moment. So how was it, man? How was taking those first steps?
Oops.
It was really good. Actually, I picked it up graduation, like MSU's graduation weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I picked it up then from my parents' house, which it's been sitting there for 2 weeks.
Oh God, oh
Which
my God, that
sucked.
would have killed you. Oh.
But anyways, got it, and then we got back to my fiance's house, which is in St. Louis. And that night at 1 in the morning, I got it set up, and it wouldn't work because I didn't have a display like port, another cable to hook up to the TV. But the next day, we went and got a connector, and it worked just fine. The room setup was okay. There was a mirror in there, so it caused some tracking issues. But once we covered that up, it was really, really nice. Everything's been pretty smooth. I've had a few judders here and there, but that's mainly whenever I get out of the tracking zone. Yeah,
Okay, well, I'm really not talking about the technical aspect. I'm talking about how was it?
it was great. Like
I mean,
Okay, so I played Minecraft last night, and that was probably the most fun I've had with Minecraft in years. And I really like Minecraft, and I love the community of it and playing with friends. But like being in this arena where we were fighting mobs and everything, they were coming after me. Like I was frightened and squealing
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
you were there,
teleporting
man.
away.
You were
And
there.
it was so cool being there and fighting those zombies and skeletons, and it was awesome. And I'm looking forward to at least making a Minecraft video because that's really, really cool.
Now,
definitely.
now I've got to ask as well because I know you have the game. Have you played Elite yet?
I have not. I've been playing some what is it? Hover junkers this past week.
Nice.
I get home from work, I play around with hover junkers, and then I'm not very good at it. I've got to work on my shots. It's a tricky
hard.
game.
It's hard,
There's a
man. Yeah.
learning curve, but it's interesting, and the movement you feel is at first it's a little jarring because you're not expecting it of
Yeah.
moving that hovercraft, but once you know you're stable there, it's really nice and it's really easy to get into.
Yeah.
So, but I definitely want to pick up Elites. I have to use an Xbox pad right now because they don't have a stick. So
Yeah, you get there, man. You've got the headset, so like that's a big step. One of the things I was going to say about the Minecraft situation, with that one, a lot of it is teleporting. Have you done anything with natural sort of like using analog, the analog pad to walk or anything like that? Have you done anything? Tried any demos where you literally walk in with a controller, or is it just teleporting you've done so far?
No, I did do one. It was actually Don. You did the retro arcade. I
Yes.
saw that, and I was really interested. So I was like, "Oh, I'll load that up." And it was a little glitchy to get working because it made me like 12
You were
feet
like
tall or
really,
something.
really, really tall. Yeah, that's a known bug. They actually we're pretty damn close. They're going to be putting out 1.4.
Okay.
And that's going to be a completely new. I think they're calling it New Retro Arcade Neon. That should also be bringing multiplayer, guys. So multiplayer, hanging out in the old '80s arcade together.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So just a little tip for the Minecraft with the Vive, if you press like the right control button and R, you actually can make it so you've got proper analog movement with your trigger. So then rather than having to point and teleport, you can walk around and just do turning by turning around 360. So you won't have the disconnect of teleporting. So if you're new to VR, I would wait a little bit longer. But if you're used to it and you're ready to do that stuff, then for me, it helps immersion and it keeps you in.
So wait. You're saying you map the trigger?
Yeah,
to
and
a
so
movement?
on the left trigger, if you hold your left trigger in, you walk.
Yeah.
But like to unlock that, you just in the game on the keyboard press the right control button, and then at the same time press the R key, and that'll just unlock it, and then you'll be able to stop teleporting and just walk.
Can you use like a Xbox One controller with the Vive and like not use the motion controllers every time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do what you want. Do what you want,
Say,
mate.
as long as the game supports it's whatever controller options the game supports.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
But to be honest, I wouldn't want to play Minecraft without the motion controllers in VR.
You get
because
VR
having
hands,
those
man.
games
No, I
and-
could imagine just sitting there hacking on stuff, man. That'd be awesome.
And like, okay, whenever I record it, like it's so crazy because the sword like boomerangs out. It's like a yo-yo, and it's just so enjoyable doing that. And it's great.
Is there a shield mod? Is there a shield mod anywhere? Because I want a VR shield, and I can be like,
Oh, that would be so
fucking-
cool.
Like Space Pirate. You want Space
No,
Pirate?
dude. Okay. When I did Space Pirate, that was one of the most awesome things. Was like reaching back and then grabbing the shield and pulling it out, and then reaching back and grabbing the gun. Yeah.
Chivalry needs a HTC Vive mod.
oh yes, you heard it here first,
Yeah, I
guys.
still have yet to play Chivalry. I need to play that one.
It's good. It's actually probably one of the best, one of the top 5 Vortex games for me at least.
Yeah, it's too good. It's too good. Too much fun. I rated that.
Yeah, no, Chivalry is one of those games where, like, even when I was, even when I first started getting into VR, I would kind of like, before it was supported, I'm gonna go jump into Chivalry for 10, 15 minutes, and I'll go play the VR game after. You know, Chivalry's always been a good game, and with the use of VR, it's even better. If you haven't played it, it's like a Renaissance, game where you're an old swordsman or an archer, and you're running around kicking butt.
Medieval
screaming,
combat,
literally.
yeah.
There you go, medieval combat.
Have any of you guys played Valiant?
Yeah, I played a demo back in the DK2 days, but now I hear that that's got motion track support, so I will be just buying that in a minute probably.
Okay.
Yeah, so back in the day though, it had a comfort mode. I found it much better when you turned the comfort mode off.
I think we all feel that way.
Yeah, like so you press a button and it turns you like not 45 degrees or 90 degrees, whereas I just want to turn, leave me to it. So I think I've been looking for videos for Vive support. Cause if it gives me a proper sword, I'll buy that now. But we'll have to wait and see. I can't confirm it yet, but it does on the Steam page show it's got motion track control, so worth a look. Definitely. I know this is a bit of a repetition, but I'm going to be setting up a Minecraft server soon. Feel free to jump on, man. Add me on Steam, IG83, man. And,
yeah, I'll definitely do that. My friend, he runs the server right now that I play. So he's in Flatland and I'm in VR, and it's interesting.
Wait. So when you guys are playing your server together, is it a survival world server?
Yeah.
We should just jump in and totally give his server chaos, Wayne.
Although he has all that admin powers. So
okay, no, Wayne, build yours.
Yeah, so I'm going to be setting one up. I mean, I don't know what's going to be happening with Hoops. I mean, Hoops was talking about it. I know
Hooper Mation's
He wants to do a Minecraft series. So,
but regardless of the series, because as always we've always had different schedules. We've always kind of had different ones, and like I said, I still have the old level, and I can send that to you, and you can start that up. I mean, we've had one that we put months of work into that we started long ago. So we've been playing Minecraft in VR for almost a year now, if not over a year now. IG83. I'm not sure when we started the series way back when, but it's been a fun time. So yeah, I mean, we have that old server that we could either throw in there or we can start fresh.
your server was beautiful. Oh my God, it was
So
gorgeous.
Wayne's actually the thing is, when Wayne left and he stopped coming back to the Minecraft server for a while, so I started going in there and I'd be running around and I decided to kind of do these little expeditions and I went around. I found all of his houses out in different places and I mapped them on a big map and I was thinking someday he'll come back in.
Well, see, what needs to happen is you need to bring me in there so I can blow all of them up.
Yeah,
Because
you know where they're.
that was apparently like some controversy a long time ago.
No, we would never. No controversy.
No.
Not at all.
But yeah, definitely up for doing some of that. And I know we've all got difficult schedules, but add me and we'll sort it out sometime. So yeah, nice one.
Right. Yeah. Talk about touch for people who are in chat are talking about the touch controllers a little bit and Vive support. Obviously, we're talking about motion controllers. Touch support is something where they haven't released an exact release date, and that release date potentially I keep hearing is changing all the time. And it's getting sooner, later and later and later every time I hear something. But then somebody was on Reddit, as Don, you told me all about. Looking for devs to give motion controllers to.
And they're showing devs are actually showing unboxings of the engineering samples that are coming in the box, and so I mean we've got to be getting close, guys. They've got the box design nailed down, they've got the touch nailed down. I think they're just waiting. I think they're just waiting for software. I really think they're waiting for the software to catch up.
What about price on those? I mean, what's not to.
I'm thinking, if I had to throw out a prediction, I'm going to say 149.
Really? You think that cheap?
Yeah.
I was thinking something like that too.
I think 149.99.
I mean, I would love it. Each Vive controller is like $130 each controller.
Now, I'm really sorry to interrupt you guys. Really sorry. Just had Head Trip Games. The developer of IO Moon is in the comments. They're asking about Vive and touch controls and stuff like that, and he's confirmed that. Just a second ago on here, it's running great at 98%. Vive needs a bit more optimization with ATW, but he's deep into the controllers tonight, so maybe.
That's exciting.
Maybe Vive control support coming to IO Moon. Heard it here first, guys. Heard it here first.
Still, guys, I'm gonna throw it out. Still, and I think we'll all agree, still one of my favorite games.
Beautiful game.
God, IO Moon is fantastic.
Hype, man. I love motion controllers. I'm fucking balls deep. I'm VR gay. I'm VR gay for controllers.
Yeah, you're VR. Well, I think we're all VR gay for it. 2 times. I've only had 2 experiences at 2 meetups. As a matter of fact, that Caleb and I held the meetup here in Springfield. I got to try his Razer Hydras, and then I got to try the Vive, and it is the missing link. Having the motion controllers has given me the hardest presence I have ever felt in VR in 20 years. It's insane.
Huh.
No?
Nice one. Caleb, so Don said he liked the Vive, all right, but ultimately still, really liked the CV1. I didn't hear you. Did you get to try the Vive? Did you like it at all? Or?
Both. It was so it's hard to describe, but yeah, I mean, the thing that I guess that I first noticed the most is that the Vive is more like the DK2 in the sense of like the strap is I put it on with a strap like this. I pull the strap out and I kind of I put it on my head. It came on very easily, and I don't know, the way the nose felt was definitely much different. The shape of it's just different, the way that it feels. It felt light and light enough, and I did not secure it properly, but I know that had I secured it, I could have gotten a much better feel for it. The fact of the matter is that it just I don't know. It wasn't as comfortable as the CV1, but yeah.
Greg and I talked about that briefly yesterday, and he said unlike the CV1, the Vive does come with 2 facial interfaces, and I kept telling him I was like, when I put it on, it felt so small, and maybe that's why I thought the field of view, I could almost see the edges of the foam. Not even the screens. So
like a Vive for a little kid or something.
Well, he said that we had this. We most likely demoed it with the small facial
narrow face. Yeah, narrow face.
Narrow face, and it just didn't feel right to me.
That's strange because most of them come with the wide face one.
Right. I mean, I didn't notice too much of a problem. I mean, as far as lens and the quality, I
maybe it was all sway.
Looking, I could certainly see where there is a division. The colors aren't 100% solid. There is a little bit of pixel in there, right? But it's so brief that it certainly wasn't an issue. You know what I mean? It was there it is, cool, whatever, it's real far, it's so small, okay, I don't care, and then you go back to forgetting about it, and that was the same in the CV1 and as well as
If you look for it, you'll find it. But
yeah,
Yeah,
you can certainly,
yeah.
like I said,
Well,
I
I think-
certainly see it if I look for it. But I just want to say real quickly, when I put the CV1 on though, the moment you pick it up, like it's like it's not 100% solid, but it feels very solid. You know what I mean? This is a piece right here that like. And the backing of it, I don't know. It's more of a thing that you like the people are saying. It's like a baseball cap. Like when you put a baseball cap on, it's got that firm kind of style to it. Yeah.
It's very well designed. I mean,
Yeah.
like look. I mean, if you watch, it's like literally just.
Yeah. I mean, it is like a baseball cap when he puts it on. Yeah. Smooth.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very well designed piece of hardware. I will give it that.
That's like I said, that's the one thing. I mean, I do like how it fits. I like how the headphones kind of fit on me or like that. Sure, if you want to take them off, go ahead, put your own headphones on. They allow that kind of stuff. Their hardware is accessible, right? Their software is not. So there's the big lesson I learned right there. Is as Oculus, I think Oculus put a lot more time in their headset. Here's what it seemed like. It seemed like Oculus was getting big. HTC, and this is just what it seemed like to me. The Vive was doing the Vive Pre's, and then all of a sudden the release date was coming out, and out of nowhere, the Vives were just sending out units. I don't think they did much of a big step of a leap going from the Vive Pre to the Vive Final, right?
Right.
As opposed to the DK2 and the CV1, or the Crescent Bay and the CV1. We've seen just a lot of steps and improvements, and obviously I think that tells the difference between a research and development company and the money that's been put into that as opposed to the Vive. Having said that, how amazing is the Vive for not having had all that time and money spent into it? That tells you a lot as well. The price of it just was what makes it crazy. If each device was less than $500, you'd have a lot more people having it. At the same time, that's not an argument for here or there because the technology inside of it could be sold for a lot more. So.
And yeah, I think the controllers, the fact you've got two trackers as well. I think components like you get a bit more components with the Vive than once that extra camera tracking unit for the Rift. Once you get the touch controllers, they're probably
the Rift will be probably more.
They'll be comparable at least, in price. So I don't know, and I don't know what is the right thing to do. Eventually, maybe even second gen Rifts are going to be very, very affordable, and I think that's when the tech's going to be mainstream. Like when it's almost like when the PS5 comes out, a shitload of people will have a PS4 already.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my thoughts anyway.
Yeah. Huh.
I think that like going forward though, the best experiences I've had, or the most immersive experiences I've had, have either been cockpit based with a peripheral, like the matches up the hand-eye thing, so a wheel, a flight stick, or motion controls with actually seeing my hands. So like it's just more engaging to have, yeah. And that I bet you're right there, man.
No, dude. When I'm playing, I mean, I'm literally, I've got swivel, I've got pan, I've got tilt. It's all Flintstone controlled, but I mean, literally, I'm in it, man. I'm in the cockpit of that starfighter. The transducer starts firing off on the back. It is insane.
100%, man. 100%.
So you just have, so you just did one. I need to talk to you guys again about the transducers and amps and stuff, because I think I'm gonna get the transducers and amp before I start buying like actuators or wiper motors or however I decide to do this motion sim. But so you just have one transducer and an amp, Don, or what?
I do actually. Mine is literally stripped out of a 20-year-old Aura interactor vest. It came with its own amp. You literally hook it into the secondary just speaker output, and it works great. Now, obviously, with CV1, not so much. I haven't used my transducer a lot since my CV1 because you have to go through a lot of steps to get it to work. Using like virtual audio cable, you have to clone your audio sources because you can't have it going to the CV1 headphones and the transducer at the same time.
Oh, don't worry, Don. I got something fun to show here. We got this is here it is. We got the interactor.
Yeah, there it is. Yes, the Aura interactor vest. Yes, that. I bought that thing. I bought that thing in 1998, to use with my very first VR setup.
How much is it used now? 35
you
bucks?
can literally pick these things up, guys, over on Amazon, I think, for like 15, 20 bucks.
I was 6 years old, mate.
Yeah, thanks for making me feel that old.
Yeah,
But
and of
if
course,
you go
Don,
to VRSpies, just a little plug, and you look at the article I wrote about how I built Battle Chair, it actually shows the vest before it was disassembled. It shows, so, but
Oh,
it,
yeah,
it
dude,
works
see that
really,
article right
really
there.
good.
That is the one we were talking about earlier when we were that Andrew read. That one was a popular one. People really like that stuff. And having said that, I'm going to try to play off of Don's success here. I've done 2 videos on the chair, or maybe 3, but I do need to do an article as well, just talking about taking your Walmart chair, and adding some Aurora sounds.
Yes.
Turn it into
No. Yours rumbles way better than mine.
So
Way better than mine.
we'll try to click on this just for a quick hot second. There we go. Okay, so we've got 2 Aurora base shakers. Then we've just got a plug that's got 3 plugins. We've got 3 of the same adapters. They go to 2 different amplifiers. Each amplifier powers its own Aurora base shaker. We've got what is this one thing? It's a headphone amplifier that's then hooked up through 5 different places. That way we can hook up the UKRifter vest, which is
It's fucking awesome.
the UKRifter vest, which is wireless right there, and then we've got the wireless Bluetooth device, which is right there. That way we can get the input device from the computer.
That's too sick.
You can control the vest with this one. You can control the headphones with that one, and you can control your left and your right side with these 2.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
And at one point in time, we had a bunch of transducers on the back of the chair. I took those off because they were
The little pucks?
unnecessary. They were unnecessary on the back, and I ended up using those for another project that I've been working on, the back attack patent pending. So we're working on that, and there's a lot of fun stuff you can do. But it just goes to show, if you're sitting at home and you want this really cool stuff, make it. It doesn't exist yet, or if it does, it's way too expensive. So until I make it, you can buy reality check versions.
I'm going to make a ghetto sim pit rig, man. I'm literally
I'm looking forward to
on it. Yeah, I'm going to
There's
record
people on
that
Reddit
shit.
doing it recently, and they look so cool. I mean, some of the
It adds to the immersion so much. Like when I bolt, like I'm sitting in front of a cabinet right now. I didn't turn the camera to show that, but when I bolt the car in here and I've got the pedals, I mean, I'm sitting in a car seat. It feels like I'm driving a car. When I'm flying with the HOTAS, it feels like I'm flying a starfighter. It just adds so much to the experience.
Definitely. I probably will be asking you guys some questions about it, to be honest. I'm thinking I'm going to have a load of leftover wood, so I'm thinking wooden base, but I'll need to go over some mock-up designs, and I'll probably build it out on like lollipop sticks first and just like show you guys and say, what do you reckon to this shit?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're only going to need it for those faceplane ones. The rest of the time, you'll be on your Vive, running around your room, getting all in shape, like you said. So, no problem. Although at that point, you really do need to have some kind of an actual suit, which I know a lot of people have talked about. They want a haptic suit that they can run around in, and yeah, who doesn't? At the same time, gosh, what kind of a cost is going to come into that? I don't know. I think I'm going to briefly run away myself, but I'm just going to let you guys keep on talking.
Yeah. I'm going to be going to bed as well, guys.
Yeah,
but
I think we're probably going to start wrapping it up here.
If we're wrapping it up soon, I can wait 5 minutes. But if you guys want to keep talking, I have no problem. Let you guys all keep talking, and then because I didn't know
wife and kids just came in, so
yeah,
we're going about 2 hours now.
So my wife's leaving work early, so I still might stream Space Pirate. It just might be a little later. That's all.
I want to give a massive shout out to Alan. Thank you so much for coming on, mate.
Yes, Alan,
good
dude,
to hear
thank
your thoughts,
you so
man.
much, man.
Hey guys, it was a pleasure. I enjoy being a part of the VRSpies in this community, and it's exciting. And I look forward to playing some games with you guys and sharing all our reactions. So
and you got it tonight.
Add me, man. Add me.
Space Pirate tonight. It's I think it's US $15, but it's totally worth the price. Totally.
Well, I would love to play with you, but I have no motion controller.
And
so.
you'll have to get me on your friends list. That way you can shoot for somebody to beat. There you go.
Nice one. Well, thank you so much, guys, and I really do hope to catch you on the next one. And you lot, I'll speak to you soon, no doubt. I love you lot. Don't change.
Wayne's going.
Don't change.
No, Wayne. Nobody's ever gonna change.
I'm evolving. Constantly.
Nice one. All right, see you later, guys.
I'm digitizing. I'm gonna become one with the Matrix.
Later, Wayne. Later, Wayne. Later, bye, buddy. See, Wayne just left. And I wasn't ready for the outro yet, so he can't just leave when the outro's not ready.
He's supposed to sing us out, man.
Yeah, I mean he's.
Oh, is that a new thing?
Ain't no
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, Drail said something about Sim Vibe earlier. Just look that up.
No, SimVibe is awesome, dude.
Yeah, that's the same company that makes the SimX. They do the motion controls as well. The controllers and stuff with like those microcontrollers that control the actuators and all that.
Oh, yeah. All right. We should do one thing real quick, and before we jump out of chat,
What's
I
that?
would like any of the guys that are in chat. Is there any question that you have for anybody that's here?
Yeah.
Now that would
No,
like
absolutely, man. Yeah. Anybody got any questions for any of us?
yeah, say just sit now. Now everybody stare at the audience.
Now everybody stare at the chat. Everybody.
Yeah, right.
And just be quiet. Like,
No, I say I think for the most part, for
Billy,
the
that
next
picture
week,
is so 70s, dude. That is so
Yeah.
awesome.
for the next week, I know I'm going to be. I'll be making some thank you videos. Of course, like I said, the Oculus, I think it takes them like a day to ship it, regardless of when you eventually pay them and stuff. So, something like that. Who knows? Who knows? We'll find out for sure. But I will be happy to open that up and hopefully see if I have a good one, or a red sprinkly one, or a red tinted one, or a glary one. You know what I mean? All the above. We'll see.
Yours is going to be the one, Caleb. It's going to be the one that's perfect.
Well, Wayne got the perfect vibe. Wayne got a good vibe. I know that much, right? Right. So. Yeah,
I didn't talk about. So I never had any. Like, there's no dead pixels on mine at all.
good.
So just to throw that out
You
there.
are
You
you
were
are
saying,
one of the
like-
lucky ones because I know UKRifter said what was it, like 29% of all Vives are coming with dead pixels right now.
That's terrible. And
HTC's
reading on the Reddit, occasionally somebody will say, they found a dead pixel and they're doing the RMA, and it's
Yeah, less than
it's
5 or
annoying.
something isn't even a thing.
Right, not to keep beating the dead horse, but the big thing about that is that HTC is following their television standard for dead pixels, which is 5 to 6. And even 1 in VR magnified is too much.
Yeah, that's too much. It's way too much. I can't believe they would even think that that's okay to do, in that sense. But
No, we do have a last minute question here. Glenn Edwards is asking. Here's a question: what's the VR games demo that made you feel the sickest? For
Cyberspace.
me, Cyberspace.
Cyberface.
Really?
Yes.
I love Cyberspace.
I
could
loved
do that
it,
all
but it
day.
also I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I loved the game, and
No,
but it's the only game that gave me that feeling.
It does. It gets you in your stomach. Oh my god.
And it's awesome. I hope to play that again sometime soon. That's
No.
Have
great.
any of you guys played the Cube?
The Cube, I have not.
Or the Cubicle, sorry, the Cubicle.
Oh yeah.
No,
Cubicle's
no,
cool.
I haven't.
Cubicle's really cool. I like that. It's more of an experience than a game. But
Yeah, it is, but it made me kind of uncomfortable just with the movements, and
I
it
bet
just
you it was as soon as the platform started to move forward, right? Is that as soon like the walls at one point you're like the platform's moving forward. I don't know what happened to me is like I felt like I was on a magic carpet, and the real world I wanted to get ready for the movement, like your body, at the same time.
That's exactly what I was doing.
And the problem is when you start to get stance, like if in the real world you're on a magic carpet and that son of a bitch is about to start pulling off, you're gonna have to start leaning forward, right? So you don't get pulled backwards and fall off the magic carpet. In the real world, when you're in VR and you feel like you're doing that and you start to set yourself forward and you start leaning forward, guess what happens? You start falling forward because there's nothing pushing you backwards. There's no motion. You have this weird moment where you're like, and it's like, okay, that wasn't fun. I'm stupid,
Which game is that? Cube?
That was the Cubicle.
The Cubicle.
The Cubicle.
The Cubicle?
I certainly had that moment in there. I recorded that one, and I kind of mentioned how I'm like, I think in the video you'll kind of see it too, and I'm like, okay, well, dang it,
That makes me think because my cover photo on Facebook is Cube, like Hypercube, that old movie that.
Hypercube
really
is
old.
awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's like the, I don't know, fourth dimension or something
Cube
like that.
2 and Cube Hypercube and
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know those.
They should make a game like that. I think someone was working on that. I can't remember.
Well,
who it was.
there's a Gear VR game that's similar. It's like you're trapped in these cubes and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. It's all good.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, I remember this Cubicle. That looks pretty insane. Huh.
Yeah, the only thing that's ever made me actually throw up since I've been doing VR is Alien Isolation. And that is just because the VR support is not 100%, and
get
the
kind of-
world is kind of tilted a little bit,
The
and
tilt would get to you.
having the computer terminals like really up close to your face and stuff like that. It just, yeah, that's the only one that's ever had me rip the headset off and run straight for the toilet.
Caleb War Thunder got
So
him.
War
Yeah.
Thunder got me a couple times.
You should go back and watch that video at the
Yeah,
end of
that
it.
video.
I've
Caleb
seen
just
that
like
video. It's hilarious.
headset off. All right, I'm gonna go throw up.
I got that nice red cherry face tomato that I can't help. Yeah, that happened to me a couple times, man. It's VR definitely gets me in certain sorts. Other than that one, somewhat recently, even Windlands will get me. I like playing Windlands.
Oh, I love
really do.
Winslow. Oh my
But,
god, I
oh
love that.
gosh, you just jumping in Windlands, is enough to make my
Yeah.
stomach kind of go, and the headache starts to form. And there are certain ways that you can prepare to try not to get a headache. Whether you're taking pills or whatever, just things that
whatever.
you can do. But certainly VR sickness is something that affects some people more than others. Myself, it does.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I do prep, it then takes care of itself a lot more so than if I don't. So that's for darn sure.
You know what's a weird example that for some reason always makes me feel nauseous after about 30 minutes in it? You guys don't even think this is crazy because it's a great VR game, but Half-Life 2 actually.
You're crazy.
Half-Life 2 actually made me feel kind of
totally sick. I think Half-Life 2 made a lot of people feel sick, and it wasn't because it wasn't great to play. It wasn't optimized, and the headset's runtimes weren't proper.
Yeah.
A new FPS, first-person shooters in the day. I mean, think about why they have comfort mode now is because people get sick when you're running around, and that was a game where you're running around with the weapon right there, and yeah, the weapon didn't lag behind you. When you're looking, it's perfect. It's right. That kind of stuff messes with you. So there's those issues. And yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of games that they're working on things. Having said all these things, one thing I mentioned to Hoop, Bowslinger is an environment that's cartoony but looks very realistic, and for some reason makes me feel very comfortable. So there's also certain thing having to be said about sitting in an environment that you feel no depth of presence. So if I have for example, to make this really short, if I have an object right in front of me and then I have an object very far away, if I'm in a game and I can't actually see anything in between those two distance points, it makes it very hard for me to differentiate the two, and I actually get kind of sick and queasy in those environments, as opposed to an environment that almost has kind of a misty fog throughout it, that I can kind of feel the depth throughout the level and feel the space, and that really does help me with immersion and sickness. And actually, talking about IO Moon earlier, that game has that has particles going throughout and mist and fog everywhere. That's one of those games where you look around at ledge and you kind of feel the distance, and I never had to feel that feeling of sickness from that game. The only time that game would just get me just all kinds of mixed up, because I'm constantly trying to figure out when I play a game how people develop things and what they're doing with different things, and yeah, just that one was a lot of fun. But immersive games like that really get you just totally immersed, where you don't always know what's going to happen, and things are doing tricky things, they do unexpected things. Those ones get me way less sick, as opposed to something where I know exactly what's going to happen or the world is just very flat.
Well, I could agree with
Drew. Thank you very
saying.
much. Thank you, Drew. I got your message. Thank you. You guys are awesome. So, yeah.
Well, and I got to agree with what you were saying with the IO Moon and the particle effects. The particle effects, having something in that field of vision helps a lot.
Retro Arcade made Matt Poole giddy. Is that the only thing that made you giddy last night? Hashtag VR gay?
Hashtag VR gay.
Okay, yes. All right. Yeah, does anybody else that's in, you guys, Don, Billy, we got Alan, you guys want to say anything before we jump out of here?
No, I don't really have anything to say, to be honest.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I'm pretty good too.
Next time we see you, Alan, I want you to get us some touch controllers, and you're gonna play some Space Pirate and get on that leaderboard.
Right. Sounds good.
That's right, man. All right. Well, I guess it's that time, guys. Is it that time?
It's that time. Live long and prosper.
I have to go over here to where the sound thingy is, because as soon as I put this sound thingy on, we'll start to hear maybe some echo. And thanks, guys, for checking out the VRSpies podcast, Exposed. We will see you guys next week with, I think, is this 18 or episode?
This will be 18 next week.
18 next week.
Hopefully we'll have guests lined up. So.
Yeah, we'll have something going on, I'm sure of it. So see you then, guys.
Yo, what's up there, guys? Immersive Gamer 83, thank you very much.
What's up, guys? Billy over at Pretty Neat VR. Hello and welcome back to another Reality Check VR video.